Hello and welcome to 2001, A Film Podyssey. I'm your host, Matt, and I'm joined by my co-host, Kelsey.
Hi.
And we have a very special episode coming up for you. But first, we just want to talk about a couple things. Kelsey, we have a sweet event coming up, don't we?
Yeah, we're actually going to host a live event.
It's going to be October 18th here in Springfield, Missouri at Mother's Brewing Company. We're going to start things off around 7 p.m.
We're going to have a live screening of a 2001 movie, TBD. We're going to have, a raffle?
Yep, we're going to do a raffle. We're going to have our own merch there for the first time.
Finally.
And we're going to have a comment box where people that attend the event can say whatever they want. They can make a comment on the movie. They can roast us as people personally. And they can basically just record anything they want to. And it might make it into that episode of the podcast.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear that stuff.
And then afterwards, we're going to sing karaoke, of course.
Karaoke!
Yeah, we're going to sing karaoke.
And it's free.
It is going to be free. And that's mostly for licensing reasons.
But don't talk about it.
Come in right now from the thing you were saying like two minutes ago.
If you'll shut up.
Just come right in.
If you'll shut up with enough time for you to do that.
Matt, come on.
It's going to be a great time, Kelsey, and I'm super stoked to give out more details.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. We had something else to talk about too, didn't we?
Yeah, so we've been thinking and we want to hear more from you. So if you have questions about anything that we've talked about on any of the episodes, or maybe comments, maybe you want to tell us what's up, please feel free to email us at
david@2001pod.com. That's 2001pod.com.
Why would anyone assume it's 2001 spelled out like in alphabetical?
I've emailed plenty of like this person at 2004podcast.com and just all spelled out TWO.
Really?
Yeah. No, of course not.
Oh, okay.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I just wanted to relate. I just wanted to fit in. I really just was struggling there to fit in.
And with the housekeeping out of the way,
Yeah.
I am stoked to bring on our guest who shouldn't have been talking until now. On today's episode, we have a very special guest, Jackson over here.
Insert,
Yeah, we'll do the
air
air horns.
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm Jackson.
Jackson's here.
Wait, who's Jackson?
Jackson, Jackson and I have a little bit of history. We've known each other for a few years. He happens to be my brother.
Wow.
Yeah, we've known each other for probably like most of our lives.
A lot of it, yeah.
Probably most of it.
And I'm also his brother.
Yeah, actually, yeah, he did end up being my brother with all of that.
You're both each other's brother?
Yeah, it ended up working out that way, actually.
That's nice.
Serendipitous.
Yeah,
Wow,
honestly,
callback.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call it fortuitous, but I would say it's
Right.
coincidental for sure.
It's been hell.
Oh yeah, it's been a bad time.
Yeah. But we're stoked to have you on, and we're
Thank
even
you.
more stoked that we're watching a very special movie tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight's movie, we're watching Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Are we stoked? I don't know.
What's funny is like I can't help but laugh to hear you try and sound excited.
I know,
about it.
I know.
Honestly, like I can't help but laugh about it. But yeah, I've never watched this.
Jackson,
movie.
what is your relationship to Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within?
Okay, well,
Smooth.
Have you ever watched it before?
No. Well, kind of, I guess. I started the movie and then I don't think I've ever actually watched it all the way through, but
What do you remember about it?
I remember there was some curse words at the beginning and then
shit.
my
Damn.
mom did not let me watch it while I was at church.
That's a good mom. That's a good mom.
Yeah, we were at church and I was trying to watch it and there was some
Wednesday night church, not Sunday morning.
Yeah, it was not. Oh no, I
Get
would
it
never,
straight, guys.
never on the Sabbath.
No.
Never. There's nothing that I actually watched of this movie, but I'm a very big Final Fantasy fan. Like I've always been a very big Final Fantasy fan. And this is kind of like the one like major thing that I have I got nothing on. I don't know anything about this movie at all.
Can I
Yeah.
say that Final Fantasy fan is a little bit of a tongue twister?
Final Fantasy fan,
Final
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy
fan,
fan,
Final
Final
Fantasy-
Fantasy fan.
Like you say it a couple times in a row and all the words lose
Start-
meaning.
yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, Jackson and I, big Final Fantasy fans, and
Yes.
especially from right around this era.
Right. It's like the perfect time for this to come out. Thinking about when some of the other games were coming out at the time, too. A huge, very upward trajectory of success for them. And then this came out. And then,
yeah.
and I know there's video on this, too. So you can see my hand go
Yeah.
down, very
Yeah, he's pointing down.
steep curve.
It was pointed up, now it's pointing down.
Yeah. It was a steep curve up. And now
Picture
it's
a graph,
Yeah.
and it's up,
bad.
and then it's down.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. And I think they really wanted to like do a movie that the US would be very excited about, because it's a Japanese thing. If you're not familiar with Final Fantasy, a lot of the games came out in Japan and then came out in the US later, quite a bit later, I'd say.
Yeah.
This was maybe the first thing that came out in the US
Concurrently.
first.
Yeah.
We looked that up, and
What?
it came out in the US before it released in Japan. This is, I think, maybe the only Final Fantasy thing
Probably,
that
yeah.
happened that way.
That's interesting.
It's also interesting too, Square at this time, kind of at the height of their power, they had big hits on Final Fantasy 7, 8, kind of 9. And all their games were starting to have a lot more cutscenes, pre-rendered 3D
Yeah.
cutscenes. And so the department in Square was doing all these cutscenes, and they're like, we got enough talent here. We can
yeah.
and should make a movie. And I remember when this thing was being marketed, they were really hyping the graphics. The CG was like top of the line. I remember there being commercials talking about, oh, you
Yeah.
can see the pores in this
Oh,
guy's
yeah.
nose.
Yeah.
This
I
old
mean,
guy's nose. Like, oh, dude, I've been waiting for 3D graphics to show me old
Yeah.
people pores.
Wait,
you know?
so was this like the Avatar of its time?
Kind of, especially for Final Fantasy
I
fans,
bet they
yes.
wanted. I think when this came out, they were hoping that this would be the precursor to Avatar
Yeah,
in
like-
both popularity and hype.
Yeah.
They probably
Yeah.
thought to themselves, I hope this is as big of a cultural moment as Avatar will be in the future.
Was it?
No, absolutely not. But
it's very
yeah.
funny. It did not get great reviews.
And I'm sure we'll figure out why over the next 2 hours.
I was gonna say, Matt, what's your experience with this movie?
I have no experience with this movie besides seeing the advertisements. Obviously, I was a big Final Fantasy fan at the time, so I was very aware of this movie coming out. But I also vividly remember thinking to myself when they talked about, like, yeah, you can see every strand of hair is rendered by itself. I was like, well, that's kind of cool. You can see the pores in this old fucker's nose or whatever. And I was like,
Yeah.
I know,
what?
I've been clamoring for that.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I remember
that's
thinking-
what I'm looking forward to right now.
I remember thinking, like, is that something we needed though? Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and then I kind of remember hearing a little bit about the story. So it's called Final Fantasy. I think this is straight sci-fi. Now, surely there's going to be magic in it because there's magic in every Final
It
Fantasy.
has to be.
But this isn't the time when the Final Fantasy games were leaning high into the sci-fis, a lot of them, you know?
The progression of the games were pretty weird kind of before this came out. I feel like, like they made a pretty big jump, especially like going to PlayStation 7 coming out, like changed so much of that. That is probably their biggest hit ever still,
Yeah.
even still. I don't know, like 8 and 9, their own worlds and things and graphic styles, and honestly, like very interesting and cool. But like this, like I remember a lot of commercials, a lot of marketing, a lot of advertisement for this. And I would have been about 10, 11, because it came out, June-ish?
Yeah,
2001?
June-ish. Yeah.
So I would have like been about to turn 11, right? So
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like that's a pretty like formative like thing, like a thing I'm already a big fan of. A movie, like a full-length movie with like crazy CGI graphics and stuff that's state of the art, nobody's ever seen before. It's gotta be amazing. And then somehow just never watched it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how that happened, but just never watched it.
Yeah,
Just, I don't
I
know.
never got around to it either. But Kelsey, do you have any relationship with Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within whatsoever?
Nope. I've never played the games or even watched some random dude play the games. I have zero experience. So fresh eyes, fresh take.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's a plus.
I'm looking forward to seeing what your thoughts are on the movie for
Me
sure.
too.
having no real like connection with the games or the stories or anything, I'm very interested for that. I'm also really wondering like how it's aged because of how state of the art it was 24 years ago
Is
at
it going
this
to look
point.
better than
Right.
Shrek?
Like,
Right.
well,
That's a good point.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, honestly, that's same year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a really good point.
We've all seen Shrek so much, like we could easily mentally compare.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm obviously like the stylistic choices of Shrek
Yeah.
work way better in that
Yeah.
way where it's
Of
like
course.
this they're trying to be like very like realistic,
But could
and
you see the pores on Lord Farquaad's nose, though?
absolutely
you
not.
could definitely
no.
see his little cunty bob. Sorry, can I say
True.
that?
No,
you
we'll
can
bleep
definitely
it.
see the
We'll bleep it.
individual hairs on his little bob.
Yeah.
Bleep, bleep out
Fuck-ass
Bob.
Bob.
Bleep out Bob.
Fuck ass Bob. Um, so the directors of the movie,
Yeah.
and I want to apologize ahead of time because, again, I have zero connection to this, and I'm also not Japanese, so I'm going to butcher this, but hopefully not too bad. IMDb says there are 2 directors. I'm going to read both names. Hironobu Sakaguchi and Motonori Sakakibara. I don't know what they were directing
Yeah.
individually, but
Well,
Right.
Hironobu Sakaguchi is the creator of Final Fantasy.
okay.
So,
Of the games,
ma-
yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense to have his name as director, but
Yeah.
I wonder how much of it he really had like a. He probably
say.
made some decisions for sure, but I wonder how much of it he really
Yeah,
did.
I
don't
bet you he
know.
probably
I
had
wonder.
I bet you he made the story. He probably had the arcs and everything in there, and then a team of writers and the other director actually put it all together.
Sure,
Well,
but-
sure.
wouldn't he be like fully in charge of the Square team, like the people actually making them? I would think that that would be his wheelhouse, and then maybe the other person is like the actual dealing with actors, like doing
Oh
the
Could
voice
be.
stuff.
Very well
could
or-
be, yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Very
that makes
well.
sense though.
Could be, yeah.
Speaking of actors, there are a lot of actors in this, voice actors, obviously. But I want to point out 3 of the ones that really stuck out to me. Alec Baldwin, wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Steve
a weird one.
Buscemi.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And Donald Sutherland.
Yeah,
So-
and James Woods is a
Yep.
pretty big one there too, because you got to think like a lot of these actors are like kind of like pretty peak moments, and especially this time
Oh,
frame,
yeah.
like especially like James Woods too. Like he had a lot of like big voice acting roles, like either right before this or at
Mhm.
that time too. But Donald Sutherland, I think I want to say he's actually done other like Final Fantasy things.
Really?
I think so. I could be wrong
Well,
about
he does
that,
play
but-
Dr. Sid. Isn't he a main
Oh,
character?
really?
Well, but look, it's spelled.
Dang.
But look, it's spelled with an S and not a C.
So that's so funny because I was gonna ask Jackson, what are some Final Fantasy tropes we should look out for? I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say, are they gonna have a Sid character?
They always do. They have
Dude,
to,
and then
yeah.
it's just like right
It
there,
is.
the like the
But they
question
did.
answered.
But they did it wrong. It's not with it. It's supposed to be
supposed
with
to
a
be a
C. That's
C.
dumb.
That's
This-
weird. Well, I mean, Americans
pick
are
a
dumb,
different
and this
movie.
is targeted,
I wanna
targeted toward Americans.
I want to do a
so-
different movie.
Let's watch
I'm
the
just
one
kidding.
with Jet Li.
Yeah, let's watch the one instead. Keep this intro, and then we'll just use that as the
Hi
intro
guys,
for
we're
the
back.
one.
We're actually gonna do Legally Blonde. Legally
Yeah.
Blonde is tonight.
We're doing Shrek. We already talked about
Yeah.
Shrek. We had a
Yeah.
lot of people signed up for Shrek.
Shrek.
Fuck them.
Oh,
We didn't want to watch this piece of shit. So
No, I'm locked in for this.
Me
I can't
too.
wait.
I am too,
PG-13. That's a good sign.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. Is like, I'm trying to think. Like I would have been like 11 at the time, right? And maybe mom was just mad that we were at church and I tried to watch it and they're like saying shit or something. I don't know. But like I have a very vivid memory of like we went to the movie store to rent it and it's like a brand new release and so you have to like take it back the next day.
Yeah.
And then like we go to like Wednesday church and she's like part of like the church faculty thing. So we have to be there early. And I'm like, I don't fucking know what to do. I'm 11. I don't want to be here. But like, there's a TV. Like I know where things are there, So I like put it in and I start watching it. And yeah, sure enough, they're just like, get the fuck out of here, shit this. And like, I just remember being like, oh, this is awesome. But then the mom coming up and be like, you can't watch this here. What are you thinking? Like, what do you think you're doing? You can't watch this here. And then literally didn't watch it that night and took it back the next day. I just
Wow.
did not watch it. So that was my only chance.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, shout out to mom too.
Yeah,
huh?
shout out to mom.
Shout out to Kelsey's mom too.
Oh, yo,
Oh,
shout out to
yeah,
Kelsey's mom. Hell yeah,
hey,
dude.
We're here, aren't we?
Y'all probably knew better. Y'all knew
Yeah.
this movie sucked and
I
just
am
wanted to not make me waste 2 hours, I guess.
I'm confident neither our mom or Kelsey's mom has listened to any of the podcasts.
Oh, definitely not.
So shout out mom. Yeah,
shout out to
Kelsey's
mom. Shout out to
Shout
Kelsey's mom.
Moms around the world. Really.
Moms,
for real,
thank
yeah.
This
you.
episode's dedicated to moms out
Yeah,
there.
go call your
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah,
if you
call
can.
her,
I mean,
or
if you
text her
can,
maybe
you know.
if she's busy.
After the episode, call your mom.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
you can do
yeah.
it while you're listening.
No,
You
no,
can
no, no, no.
multitask.
After the episode, don't
Right,
close
right,
the
right.
podcast app. Just listen to this.
Oh, on your right.
Well, I'm sure we all really want to get through
Oh,
this
yeah.
movie watch here. So we'll do that. And
Right.
then we'll come back and talk about Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. It came out in 2001. That's important to note. And thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
And we're back. No, I'm just kidding.
That's good.
Oh, God. Now we actually have to watch it, right?
The dream is always the same. I'm standing, waiting for something. If they knew about these dreams, they'd shut me down. The question is, will I be in time to save the Earth? We found it.
Yes, the seventh spirit. You'll need to find the eighth and final spirit.
We're closing in on the life form.
It'll be one of those days.
This is it. Dr. Ross has opened the door for us.
There's a life form in here.
You've got a talent for understatement.
Over here, you son of a...
This shouldn't be happening!
What is that?
The dream is coming faster now.
Where are we?
I'm not sure.
Heyo! Now that was Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. Such an exciting movie. We got so much to talk about here. First things first, though, Jackson, I wanted to ask you before we did Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. You had originally requested to do Shaolin Soccer,
Yes.
and
I really wanted to watch that movie.
we all really wanted to watch that movie, but we found out that came out in China in 2001.
Yeah.
Did not make it to the States until 2003. So
So-
unfortunately,
Completely invalid.
it did not
completely-
work out to do it on this
A
podcast.
complete invalid choice.
A
But-
damn shame.
It is a damn shame because I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a good one.
This podcast is not about that movie. uh,
No, that is a good movie.
Yeah.
And I would love to talk about that movie, but
well, I was going to ask you, so now that you've seen both movies,
yes.
which one did you prefer? Which one do you like more? Final
Wow.
Fantasy: The Spirits Within or Shaolin Soccer?
That is, I'm going to have to go with Shaolin Soccer on this one.
Shocking.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, that's going to hit a lot of people, That's going to
Surprise
might,
some people, yeah.
that might put me on the shit list here for saying it, but I'm going to have to go with Shaolin Soccer, but I think I don't know what I expected, honestly. Like, I guess I kind of knew what I expected a little bit from this movie. And I know that the reaction to this movie, like when it came out, was pretty mediocre, like not a lot of people were stoked about like advertising it, obviously. Like people, like they
Yeah.
really did hype it up a lot in
Yeah.
advertising and marketing and stuff. Cause I can remember a lot of like advertising and like a lot of stuff. So I wrote down a couple of notes here, a couple of things that I remembered when we started it that I did want to bring up. So one thing was, I do remember, I'm pretty sure that they had like a pretty big article about it in Time magazine at the
Yeah.
time. And I remember like having that, and like when it came out, I mean, it had like a pretty big article and like a 2-page spread of like a super, super close up of Dr. Sid's face.
That's what I always, when I
You
talk
know?
about, you can see the pores. That's what I think. I think
they-
about that image. Yeah.
And like I just remember thinking like, wow, this is a really big deal. This is a really big deal before it came out. And then
Right.
obviously like people were underwhelmed by it, obviously, and
I wonder why.
I really don't know. It was really gripping the whole way through.
It made sense.
It made total sense,
Dude,
especially at the end.
That's my favorite thing about movies like this. It's a simple plot. You got A, B. There's a straight line between them.
Mhm.
Everything makes perfect sense. There's no weird
Yeah.
spirits that need waves to cancel them
Exactly.
out. And some spirits hate humans. Some are self-destructive.
There's an Earth spirit and
There's
an
yeah.
alien.
We
Earth
call them,
spirit and-
the planets have souls called Gaias that we return to
Right.
when you die. None of that.
No.
We are getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, the thing is, like, there's too much to unpack, and somehow, like, yeah, it's like an hour and 45 minutes, and
Too
it's
long.
like that is too long, but also like I need more time to process what the fuck I'm looking at most of the
Yeah.
time. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm just like, they gotta explain what this is, right? Like,
Yeah.
and they kind of do, like. I don't know. They set up like some foreshadowing kind of things too, where it's like, we were talking about like trying to figure out where they're going with it and what trope it's going to be and what thing they're going to do with it. And then it didn't really do a lot. Like it just kind of like went to a different thing. And then, now we got to fight these phantoms here. And then,
Yeah.
but then like, here's a vision of this that maybe was the past. Oh, I don't know. It's maybe right now. It's maybe just communicating with aliens. Like what? Like what the hell?
Yeah.
There's too much. Like it's somehow so condensed, but too long. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I
like,
think they were really ambitious with
Yeah.
this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A little too ambitious.
Well,
I think
and
so.
I really do think that it's designed in such a way, definitely, to be like very like, I don't know, like it just kind of felt like, especially like the first like 20, 30 minutes or so, it's like, man, Americans are gonna love this. We put like Pepsi in there, we
Yeah.
put like this brand in there.
Sony.
Yeah, Sony. Yeah, well, and
They had-
Sony makes sense for
They had
Final Fantasy and
guns.
stuff. Like it's just funny that like all of that faded, right? Like they put all those
Mm-hmm.
brands, like they maybe got licensing to like flash a brand or something in here too, because they got tie-ins, but. Really, like, what else happened? Really, like that. It took place in old New York for like a minute. They talked about a couple of Earth places and stuff. Takes place on Earth, by the way. None of them ever did, but this one's on Earth, by the way.
Yeah.
Like there's so much to unpack, but it's like I can tell that they were really like, oh man, this is gonna hit all the non like dweebs that like Final Fantasy kind of thing. I guess I don't know. Like it kind of seemed like that's what they were going for.
Well,
I don't know. Lot to unpack. I feel like.
Yeah.
One elephant that's in the room right now that the movie was hyped endlessly about was the graphics.
Yeah.
For 2001, there's a lot of it that really does look ahead of its time.
I agree.
Yeah.
Until you see someone's face talking or people moving.
Right.
It's not really like a problem with this movie particularly. We were talking during the movie about Shrek. Like, is this
Yeah.
going to look better than Shrek, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
In some ways it does, but obviously they're two very different stylistic choices.
Right.
Which obviously worked a lot better for Shrek
Of course.
than this.
Of course. Like,
This movie sort of has the problem when they were trying to do realistic 3D graphics in the 2000s.
yeah.
Everything has this plastic look to it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, like, if I'm comparing it to other 3D animated things at the time, there's a lot of it that's honestly amazing for the time, I will say. Like,
Yeah.
yes, everything looks plastic. I really expected it to. Like, comparing this to Shrek is funny because obviously, like, Shrek is like, it's a cartoon, you know?
Right,
Like,
Yeah,
it's stylized in such a way where this went total, like, realism, you know?
Yes.
And, like, that's not gonna work. Like it never does. It never like really feels like, oh, I can believe this.
Yeah, that's
ever,
kind
you
of the
know?
downfall of it, I think.
Oh,
is
yeah.
like in Shrek, there are a few human characters. Like you have Fiona, you have Farquaad,
Yeah.
but it's a fairy tale setting, so you're not expecting them to look 100% realistic.
And their features too, like their facial features and stuff, they look like caricatures, you know,
Yeah,
like
of
they
course.
have
Yeah.
exaggerated structures and stuff that
Right.
lend itself for a cartoon look.
Right. And this movie is going for, like you said, realism.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, I think they bit off more than they could chew in that
Yeah,
regard.
for
Like,
sure.
It reminds me a lot of Polar Express, which I
Yes.
think came
Yeah.
out a lot later.
it did, yeah.
Yeah.
But so like in that way, I think Polar Express was like 2008, 2009 or something maybe.
No, I feel like it's
Earlier than that?
Hold on, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
look
like
it
it's
up,
earlier
but,
than that.
Anyway, it is later than this, and so judging on that scale, because that's another
2004,
movie.
sorry.
2004. Okay,
Okay.
so just a few years later.
It is on that par, though. Like,
Yeah,
I think
totally.
this might
And
even
being
look a little better.
A few years earlier, like
Right.
it's not bad. It's
No.
not, but like the way that the faces look and move, and the lack of expressions they give
Mhm.
can
Yeah.
sometimes be very goofy, I
Yeah.
guess is the word. I'm
It's-
not sure.
There's a lot of like really good mocapping going on. The way that their mouths match up to the voices do work very well for the time. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Like a lot of like 3D animated stuff really doesn't look like their mouth is like really making like the vowels and consonants
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
This one, they did a good job, but again, the mocap had to be crazy for that. You know, like I just imagine
the
people
scene
with,
where they're
like,
kissing.
yeah, right. Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's so many things I could think about. Of just like I wonder what it looks like mocapping this. Just the dots everywhere, except for the eyes and the eyelids, right? Because you
Mhm.
can't probably do that very well and have it be comfortable, maybe. But like, yeah, the eyes always look a little like
Yep.
not realistic, and
Yeah.
obviously like they're making everyone look like perfect and like
Mhm.
no skin blemishes. You know
Actually,
what I mean?
there
It's just like
were
they're-
some skin blemishes on some characters that just like little places that I thought, oh, that's one of those things they're doing to try and add realism to the
Yeah.
3D
Yeah, right.
models, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
some
There
forced
were
freckles.
there were
stuff.
some close-ups where you could even see like texture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like skin texture where you're like, wow. That, I mean, honestly, it looked decent.
Some of that looked
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Sid, the older scientist guy, was probably the one that had the most of that just because they had to old him up a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
They gave him like wrinkles and like skin blemishes and stuff,
I
you
don't
know?
know this picture we're looking at right here. Like if we just cut the hair off, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he could,
Bald-
he could pass for that, you
Bald
know?
Donald Sutherland.
Yeah. Like and
Yeah.
there are parts of this movie where I kept trying to think about would it have worked better if it was just real actors and filming it and like costumes and sets and all this stuff, right? It would cost way more money, right? It would cost way more money to have people build all this stuff,
Right.
make all these costumes, do all that shit. Animating it probably is less expensive, but still like the lengths that they went through to try to make it look so like realistic
Right.
when it's not going, I mean,
Yeah.
no one can truly achieve that, especially even still now. Like no one can really like nail it,
Yeah.
but especially for 2001, like it's good for the time, but man,
Well, some
I
of
don't
the
know, like, it just
scenery, some of the
doesn't-
technology stuff that they use, like
Yeah.
a lot of that looks really good. It's when you need to make the person look human and react
or like
naturally.
emote, like
Yeah.
there's no like
it
there
falls
was
apart
no
there.
natural emotion to any face, you know?
Yeah.
And even though like a lot of their face will move and like, you know, like their eyebrows and, you know, like
Yeah.
everything moves and seems like it would work how they're saying it and how somebody would look on camera doing it. But again, like I think about it like, man, would it have worked better if they just had people do it and like act it out?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably
Well,
not. Maybe.
And I
don't
think
know.
maybe the character that had this the worst was Officer Neil Fleming, voiced by Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
definitely the comedic relief of the movie.
Supposed
He-
to be.
Yeah, he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
He has all he's the funny guy that's scared or has the quip or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of times, there's one scene in particular we all laughed at where he does something that was supposed to look like an eye roll,
Mm-hmm.
and the face is not emoting enough to give it away. So he just
Yeah.
like, there's a close-up shot of him just looking super awkward
Yeah,
for about
it does.
2 seconds.
It looks
yeah.
really awkward. Yeah,
Yeah.
the mouth movement, not good.
It was bad.
Should we launch into the plot of the movie?
Yeah. So starts out our main character.
Our protagonist is Dr. Aki, and she's played by Ming-Na Wen.
Starts out, she's on the alien planet, I think, right?
So it starts out like very vague and weird, like just visually, like, I don't know. It was just like camera all over the place under her feet. She's stepping on water. What's going on? Like, what is she seeing? She looks up in the sky and sees stuff or something. You know what I mean? Like,
There's
there's that
like a barren landscape.
Yeah, like it's trying to like visually set this thing, and then like you snap out of it or something kind of thing, right? Where it's like, oh, it's not that at all. She's actually doing this, and
yeah, she wakes up in her spaceship,
right,
and immediately saves the dream because she saves her dreams whenever she has them.
Yeah, she records the dreams.
Yeah.
And we see in that moment on the screen on her dream recording thing that the year is 2065. And I think there might be a voiceover at that point where she's talking about how the alien invasion on Earth occurred 34 years previous. So that would have been 2031?
Yeah,
is my math right? Okay.
About
so
6 years from now,
6 years, guys. Start prepping.
Every night, the same dream, the same strange planet. But why? What are they trying to tell me? It's been 34 years since they arrived on this planet, and not a day passes that the survivors, forced to live in barrier cities, do not live in fear. I have vowed to end that fear. I believe my dreams hold the key. The question is, will I be in time to save the Earth?
Oh, we won't survive. We don't.
No.
I mean, there's spoiler. Like we don't make it, guys. So get it in while you can here.
Yeah, she's in a spaceship. She lands on Earth in like an unprotected zone, basically. She's outside of the safe zone, I guess, in old New York City.
Yeah.
Which you were like, Oni.
Right. Oni, yeah.
And she's walking around, and we saw that old Camry, Toyota Camry.
Right. All the brands hit us.
Yeah,
a billboard for music.
Yeah, music billboard. Music's important.
That's true.
And Sony, Pepsi, whatever else.
And she does this goofy thing where she has this flare gun sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
She shoots it up into the air, and like orange particles float down. At first, it didn't make any sense because we don't see anything at all. But she's walking around, and then all of a sudden, these alien creatures start showing up, and it seems like she's bringing them out. Like at first, it looks like I shoot the flare up, and the particles are now attracting these aliens.
I just made all these weird orange blob ghosts. By shooting this gun in the sky.
Yeah.
Oh wait, should I have done that? Should I have shot that in the sky? I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. There's really no setup or anything, and there's not really a lot to glean from what you're looking at, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, a big ship shows up. She's signaling to other people like, this is where we need to be to find, I guess, a thing maybe. I don't know. Like, not really a lot set up there. There's just people show up, and
I'm still not sure if that's on purpose or accidental. It comes off to me like she's shooting the flare up to show the creatures that you can't see otherwise.
That's how I took it too. That it was like a protection thing of like, I need to be able to see. I don't know. I guess now that I think of it, maybe your idea is right.
I think
that's how I took it.
Flare,
well, I think Jackson's right in the sense of that's how that ship found her.
Yeah.
Like, I think they noticed the flares, but I think she was shooting the flares.
Well, wait, hold on. I don't think she was trying to be found, right? I guess if you think about it, she's not trying to be found.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, a ship shows up. It's these like soldiers, and they get out and they're like, "You're under arrest," or what? They're rough with her, you know. And she's like, "Whatever." And then she walks over to this little plant, and they're like, "I'd call that a weed."
That's hardly a plant.
Yeah.
It's in bad shape.
Oh, please. Tell me we're not risking our necks for this plant.
I wouldn't even call it a plant. It's a weed. I wouldn't even call it a weed.
That's Steve Buscemi's line, too.
God.
Like, he's just such a jokester. And she collects the plant, and then they whisk her away into the spaceship.
And we sort of start to learn a little bit about what she was doing there. She meets up with first, they got to go through the scanning thing.
Oh, yeah. They got to get scanned because,
for contamination, basically.
Right. Because I guess, they can be contaminated by
who knows what
by
at this
these
point.
orange blob things.
Yeah.
We don't know. Not sure, honestly. But
And she doesn't want to do it. She's like, I'm not getting scanned.
You're not
gonna
scanning me.
scan me. Yeah.
so they do everyone else first, you know? So they're like, okay, we'll just do you last or whatever. We'll do these guys first, you know?
And that's when they scan Captain Gray, which is played by Alec Baldwin. And,
Crazy that
right?
Alec Baldwin,
Right?
like, I don't know. Yeah,
It
wild.
was crazy.
Wild.
And the scan comes up negative, or not negative, I guess positive. Like he's infected or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's when you realize, like, oh no, something's inside him. And it's not a sickness. It's not a virus. It is a ghost. It's a spirit or something.
Yeah.
It's a phantom.
Alien?
The orange alien implanted some
Goop.
ghost stuff in him.
There's some weird goop
And
in
it's
it,
so
man.
funny too because this sort of begins some of the attempted technobabble where they're like, oh, he's code blue, but he's only going to be code blue for 2 minutes. Then he goes code red, and then it's too late. And at every turn, our Dr. Aki is like, we need to operate on him. We need to get him over here. And the guy's like, no, we don't have a team for that. We're not equipped. There's no time. We're going to send him to a treatment facility. And then so she takes him and goes over to this medical table, the surgery table, where they have all the tools fitted out for her to do this. And she very...
they
adeptly starts operating, and then there's complications, and everyone's like, there's not enough time. We can't do this. And then she does it. And
there is enough time.
So there's a guy that's like in like a weird little cockpit that is separate kind of from the room that you're being scanned in.
Yeah.
And that's quarantined from the room that everyone's waiting to be scanned in.
Yeah.
But they're all just in the same room together anyway, whether they're infected or not, doesn't matter. But like you get scanned and then you walk back out into that room or whatever. So if someone is infected, like, you know, they're fine. And then, you know what I mean? But then they just go back in the same room with somebody that could be. Like, wouldn't you go to a different room? But anyway, they do. So right there next to them, they have that medical table with like, you know, like a fucking laser that can move around and do whatever. And she sees that green orb that's next to it. You know, she notices that and it like kind of sees it in the, you know, the camera shows it in the distance there. And then she's like, no, we need to get it right now. And then she just knows how to do all that stuff. And there's so much technology that looks like it's so easy to use and like easy to just do everything you need to do and like operate on somebody's ghost inside them with lasers. Like that scene.
It's like an exorcism, but for a
It
ghost.
is like an exorcism.
I guess
It's a
so.
sci-fi exorcism.
It's a technological exorcism.
Yeah.
It almost kind of reminded me of like almost like Reiki healing in a way where like they put like crystals on a thing and then like they just kind of like point that at your body kind of thing, right? It kind of reminded me of that because this laser is like hitting him and like it's not affecting his clothes, his body or anything, but it's somehow fighting this like orange gloopy ghost thing that's inside him and it's like cutting it and like separating it and then it's like spreading and infecting him worse.
It digs deeper down into
that's
this
right.
part
Yeah.
But she ends up saving him.
She does end up saving him
then
within a second. Yeah.
The guy that's in charge of the scanner, he's like, all right, Dr. Aki, your turn to get scanned. And that's when Dr. Sid, Donald Sutherland, comes in and he's like, oh, she doesn't need to get scanned. She's with me.
Yeah, I'll take responsibility for this.
That's just fine.
Yeah.
Like they just
vouch
don't
for
scan her. That seems wild to me. Like, cool. So
it's convenient,
especially after what just happened, where one guy was infected, it almost killed him,
and he had no idea.
Exactly.
Like it wasn't apparent to anyone that he was infected.
Almost makes me wonder if he would have been okay if they didn't scan him, because all of a sudden they scan him, it was like, oh no, he's going to be code red in 2 minutes and die. Like
I'm still kind of confused how, like, even like not jumping ahead, obviously, but like having watched the whole movie and knowing how the rest of it goes, I don't know how anyone gets infected.
I was just thinking that.
Like, was it an airborne thing? Like, did he get touched by something?
They say in this scene that, he came in contact with one of the phantoms.
Okay.
But like that happens so many times, and that's when the phantom.
I know. Maybe it was just a minor touch or something. I don't know,
but I guess that's the other thing too. I guess like if you're infected, like I guess Like, there's no chance I could like give it to you if I have it.
Or it could
Maybe,
just
I
move
don't
freely,
know.
though, right? Couldn't it just jump out and jump into
I
someone
guess.
else?
I mean, it can go
It
through
moves,
walls
and
and
it also
Yeah.
moves deeper into the body, right?
it
So
can
like,
kind of do whatever. I don't know. That's it. It's not really explained.
No.
yeah,
That's a lot of this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. There's a lot of ideas that just kind of get thrown out there, and
Yeah.
yeah. So Dr. Aki and Sid go back to the like a laboratory place where her and Sid start to analyze this plant that she brought back.
Right.
And they are kind of giving some exposition about what they're doing at this point, where they're looking for plants that have these signature waves in them.
And
they've-
animals.
Animals, yeah. Any
And
living,
humans. we
any
find out.
living thing, basically. You're right.
and they bring up
th-
the S word.
So they're scanning the plant, and it turns out, it has the 6th wavelength or whatever they call it.
Compatible spirit.
Compatible spirit, yeah. And they talk a little bit about how, like, Sid doesn't love that she broke so many protocols to get it. And Dr. Aki's like, well, they're not going to cancel you. You're the one that found out that this is what's going on and that we can nullify the spirits with this. And you found out how to have the technology to have the barrier that the city sits in. So, like, we're going to be fine. And Dr. Sid still chastises her, does not like how she did that. But they do get the 6th wavelength, and they sort of explain that that's
Compatible spirit.
compatible spirit. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. They do call it wavelengths, though. They call it waves.
Yeah,
Well, but
that's
that's
a part of it, I
That's
guess.
what comes
but
when they get all 8. I thought that.
It helps her because we also find out around this time too. So they gotta go.
I'm already confused.
I know. It is confusing. It doesn't make any sense. At the end of the day, the movie actually doesn't make any
Matt,
sense.
you
so.
love this movie.
I love it, but
Matt loved this movie. Spoilers, Matt loved this movie.
so Sid's like, well,
It's starting to click in him now, where he's like, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm starting to remember things.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
starting to piece it together.
And Sid's like, well, there needs to be people to protect if we're going to do this. And we need to, if we're going to protect everyone, we need to have you alive to be getting these samples or whatever. And they go to this council.
Well, I want to say before we get to the council part, he brings up Galileo.
Remember what happened to Galileo? They threw him in jail because he said the Earth was not the center of the universe. That could happen to us. Our ideas are unpopular, Aki. If you have any notes or records that could be used against you, destroy them. Keep them up here.
Right.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Because she's, like we were saying, she's like, hey, you invented all this technology through this research that has saved so many people and like continues to let us live this way. Like, why wouldn't they listen to you? Of course they're going to listen to you. And he brought up Galileo, and he was like, look, Galileo presented his findings and, they killed him for it. And he's likening himself to that, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then he hands her his diary, and it talks about how every living thing, plant, animal, even the earth itself, has a spirit, and the spirit, this is confusing to me.
What is this?
Read.
All life is born of Gaia, and each life has a spirit. Each new spirit is housed in a physical body. Doctor.
Go on.
Through their experiences on Earth, each spirit matures and grows. When the physical body dies, the mature spirit, enriched by its life on Earth, returns to Gaia, bringing with it the experiences, enabling Gaia to live and grow.
It's my old diary. I wrote that 43 years ago when I was the age you are now.
Is the spirit of everything called Gaia, or is the spirit of the planet called Gaia?
I think it's the spirit of the planet.
Okay.
Yes,
And-
Or
I think
I
so.
thought that we all returned to Gaia
We
too.
do.
Okay.
So to me, it seems like every living thing that comes from a planet is connected to that planet's Gaia.
Okay. Yeah. That
And
makes sense.
so we come from Earth, and we'll
It
have
makes
the
sense.
yeah.
That's very
You gotta
funny.
put some big air quotes around that.
Right.
So yeah, we come from Earth, so our spirits will return to Earth's Gaia,
Right.
and maybe another alien civilization on another planet would return to its Gaia.
We don't know.
We don't know that.
No, we don't know that at all, which is why we just destroy them with guns and stuff and like destroy their planet or whatever. Like we just we just shoot at them with guns and stuff. We don't understand any of this Gaia shit. We're just shooting at
It
them.
is so funny because at this point we've already seen them shoot these things with guns, and then when we find out what they are, it's like, why does that work?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, it really does.
Ghost bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, like really, like the guns and the shooting and really everything really just seems kind of pointless through
Yeah, it's
the
like,
whole thing. And
Aren't
it's like,
they already dead? Like,
well,
Yeah, we're gonna kill the
but
ghost.
It also doesn't seem to do anything to anyone ever. You
Right.
know, like it doesn't seem to hold anything back or like prevent them from coming at you or anything. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't seem to do anything. But they
The video-
always have guns though, no matter
Yeah.
no matter what situation
They
they're about to
haven't
go
thought
into.
of a better idea yet.
They
so-
have a giant, what looks like a 35-pound like giant
Oh, yeah.
laser gun that they just carry around pretty much any situation they're in, you know,
Yeah.
and they just shoot right at them. Like I don't know, like they don't care. I don't know.
well, what was the thing that creates the barrier around the city? The safe zone of New York is like surrounded by that giant dome that's glowing.
Yeah.
Is it maybe that same substance that's loaded into the gun? It like keeps them
yeah.
at bay. It doesn't kill them, maybe.
Very
but like,
well could
in
be.
the very
but-
vague sense that they explain it, that
they don't.
is-
They don't explain.
They
it.
I
don't,
know,
yeah.
but that is sort of the stuff that Dr. Sid's research
Mm-hmm.
has been developing.
Right.
And it has to do with the compatible spirit stuff somehow. Although apparently this barrier isn't made of that because they didn't have that when the barrier was made.
I forgot about all of this. Like you guys talked about that, and then I was like, oh yeah, there was like that whole like there was that like glowing hub that's huge and like yeah, I totally forgot about that until you guys started talking about it. It was like,
Well,
oh yeah, that's a thing. Like
Yeah, so Sid shares the diary with Dr. Aki, and it likens himself to Galileo, and then he immediately incinerates the diary.
he sure does.
He
yeah.
held on to
Cool.
this diary this whole time just to make a small point to Dr. Aki.
Right.
So he could show it to her briefly and then incinerate it.
It's kind of punk rock. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So then the council meeting happens.
Yeah, so then they go to the council meeting and we meet our human antagonist.
Yes.
Right, which is General Hine, played
General
by
Hine.
James Woods.
Yeah.
Who played who? What did he do?
Oh, he was Hades in Hercules.
Right. Okay.
right?
Yes.
So
yeah.
it's like James Woods has been in so
a
many
bunch of
things,
stuff.
you know.
But just
but
picture Hades.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That voice. That's the bad guy
Yeah.
in the movie.
He-
yeah.
All these people are like good voice actors. It's unfortunate because the writing doesn't do them any favors, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
the dialogue is pretty weak throughout the whole movie. And
Mhm.
I don't really know, like sometimes I do feel like there's like a lost in translation thing that happens if something like this, or like even just in the Final Fantasy games in general, really, like there's a lot of like weird like story things or like translation things that get changed
Maybe
when it comes
cultural
over here.
references that don't make it over here so well.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, and or like translation errors, you know what I mean, that literally
Yeah.
happen, you know, between the games. So it's like I almost thought about like was the dialogue bad because like maybe
It was written Japanese first and then translated.
maybe,
or...
but I don't really know because I think this was developed like
U.S.
yeah, like I think it.
I didn't get
I
the
don't know.
vibe that it was bad I think with this much of a budget, this big name of actors, I really don't think that they would have written it in Japanese and then
skimped on
poorly,
the translation.
poorly
yeah.
I
Right.
think it was translated well. I just think it was bad writing.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's just weak writing. in
Yeah,
general,
exactly. Like
but-
especially with Steve Buscemi, like all of his quote unquote punchlines just were
fall flat.
Like,
hard,
yeah,
hard
really.
flat.
You and your men?
She thinks you're a man.
I think she's an idiot.
I know you're not a man.
I think you're an idiot too.
Very funny.
Even James Woods, like I really
Mhm.
feel like even with like some weak writing, like you can still get the antagonist vibe. He makes it like I guess believable to dislike this character because he just pulls that kind of crappy personality well still, you know?
Yeah,
but like
yeah. Well,
it's weird.
one thing I love about Hine is that he has, because of the limitations of their animation with the human characters, he has resting evil person face.
He sure does.
Yes,
yeah.
the furrowed brows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't the faces don't articulate so well, so they had to basically just like make this guy perma evil looking.
Yeah.
You don't get any, and his character doesn't either. None of his lines or anything show any like heart or humanism to him, except for one time when he's looking at a photo with his family, which is a goofy scene. But
Yeah.
so there's this council going on, and Hein is presenting his idea. They just finished Zeus, is it called?
Yeah, the Zeus
cannon.
The Zeus cannon, this big cannon that we find out later is sitting up in space, just pointing down.
Just waiting.
Yeah, just waiting to shoot, but they haven't shot it yet. And the reason they haven't shot it yet is because Sid's research is sort of pointing to an alternative method of getting rid of what they call the phantoms.
Right.
And that's where they sort of explain more of the compatible spirits, the wavelengths. Like they found out that these phantoms operate on a particular wavelength, and if you can match that and invert it, then they negate each other.
Yeah, they cancel each other out.
The council's not so sure. They're like, okay, well, there's no proof that this is going to work. Even though they just showed them a bunch of like information on the holographic screen and showed them exactly how it's going to work. Like, we don't know this is going to work. And Hein is like, yeah, but we know a cannon's going to work. And they're like, yeah, but you could destroy Gaia, our planet's Gaia.
That's what Sid says.
Yeah.
Sid is like, the reason we're so worried about using the cannon, the Zeus cannon, LOL, is because it has the potential, if it can kill these phantoms, we think that it might also harm Gaia, the spirit of our planet.
Yeah, and everyone goes up in like an uproar, like, "Oh, you still believe in fairy tales?
You hippy dippy piece of shit! Like, what the fuck?"
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's when Dr. Aki is like, "Okay, well, watch this, and here's some proof," and they show that she has been infected, with a phantom, and using the partial wavelength they have from the sixth, or at least the first.
Well, they implanted one of the compatible spirits directly into her.
And it's keeping the infection at bay so far.
Right.
And so they decide to hold off on shooting the cannon. General Hein is not pleased about it.
Yeah, he's pissed.
And Dr. Aki goes on to continue searching for the other two compatible spirits. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure what goes in between here and there, because in my mind it goes from that to then General Hein and Captain Gray having their meeting up in General Hein's office, where he's
think right before that we have the little scene with Captain Gray and the main lady character, Dr. Aki, whatever. And we realize in that scene that they were past lovers. We don't know the extent to which they were, but they're
very comfortable around each other.
Very
quickly.
Yeah. And she left suddenly. Like, she basically disappeared on him, and he's kind of pissed about it. And then clearly there's still feelings there, right?
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, there's the scene where Captain Gray meets with General Hein.
Yeah.
And they do the most convoluted thing they could do, where General Hein is telling Captain Gray, the doctor has been infected. We don't know if that spirit inside of her is affecting her thinking. Maybe it's compelling her to do things under its own motives. So you got to keep an eye on her and make sure that she's on our team still, right? And so the captain leaves, and then he goes and talks to someone else where he's like, now
General Hein.
General Hein, yeah. Captain Gray leaves, and then General Hein turns to the other people in the room and say, now send a team of our people after him and make sure he's working for our team. Like, make sure he doesn't do anything out of character. And
why not just send the team of soldiers or whatever to trace or track Dr. Aki? Why involve Captain Gray at all? You know, like,
if you can't trust him and you send him to keep an eye on her,
he's evil. Who knows?
It just doesn't make why are we complicating this? But it does make sense for this movie, because obviously those two are the main characters and they got to have the story together.
Oh, yeah.
So
there has to be love interest, because otherwise there's no interest, right? So there's not there's nothing to keep you going.
There's
with
never
these
been
characters,
a good story where there wasn't a love interest.
That's very true. Yeah.
I don't really
Everything
remember
needs
how
it.
like Dr. Aki, Dr. Sid, I don't really remember how they become like a whole team with Officer Jane, Sergeant Ryan, Captain Gray, Officer Neil. Like, how is it that they all kind of band together and start doing that?
Well, they're tracking the seventh spirit, the seventh compatible spirit,
Right.
and they think they know where it is. This is when we go to
Tucson.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We're close to Tucson.
Yeah.
We're not there,
Yeah.
but it's like 30 miles west or something.
Yeah.
I think
Tucson,
the
don't
movie
remember.
said Tucson Wasteland.
Oh, yeah,
Which is
yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Um,
I'd rather live in the Tucson Wasteland than just Tucson.
Right. It was just a picture of Tucson.
Yeah, it looked like Tucson, honestly.
It just looked like it.
Yeah.
No, I've been to Tucson recently and it was fun. So I'm just gonna say I had fun there, okay? It was
only a
great.
few
It was great.
wasteland
It was
areas.
great. Yeah, it was dilapidated and terrible, but I had a lot of fun, you know? No, but
Everything was gray and on fire, but it was a blast. Like,
cheap to stay there though. Really good
Oh, yeah,
rates on
yeah.
hotels. So they think they know where the seventh spirit is. So they send Dr. Aki and Captain Gray. Okay, I'm having trouble remembering all the names. And the team all go because obviously the doctor has to go. Dr. Sid goes. Gray is looking after her. The team's looking after him, right?
yeah.
And they go to Tucson and they touch down. And I can't remember what this, because they see a bird.
yeah, it's like a
There.
hawk flying. or
Yeah,
something.
there's a scene where Captain Gray and Dr. Aki, they're like talking about obviously catching up again, but she's also explaining like what the other compatible spirits were, right? Where
Mhm.
she's like, one
Yeah.
of them was like a bird, you know.
One was a fish.
One was a fish, yeah,
One was
right.
a sparrow. One was a human child.
One was a human.
dying 7-year-old that
Yeah.
was ready to die.
Dark.
Yeah, yeah. Again, they see this bird that's kind of just out of nowhere. You're not expecting to see this bird out of nowhere, and they go, "Oh, is that a spirit?" And she goes, "No." Like,
I know.
very, very quickly, like, "No, that's not it."
I'll be damned.
A survivor,
What's it doing out here?
hoping for life to return.
Is that our spirit, Doc?
No.
I
That's how it
know.
works. Like,
That was
okay.
so funny.
Shit.
It's like the only living thing here, and we
Yeah.
know it's a living thing that has the spirits. It's
Oh,
just
is
like,
that
oh,
it?
is that it? Like, no, that's not it.
No.
Which is like, okay, goes into my question that I've had the whole time we were watching this movie is like, what makes it compatible? Why are we calling it compatible?
How are they tracking them? How do
Yeah,
they know it's
they-
compatible?
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously have technology to like scan things a certain way, and like, I mean, they show all these things that they show all these like graphics of like things that they're scanning, and their headsets and shit like have all this like crazy information happening all at once. I guess there would be a way that they could like detect that maybe,
How
but
do
like
here's the
they don't
thing, though.
explain how they find it.
Well,
You
here's
know,
my
they just say it's
problem.
really difficult.
Yeah.
That's
My
it,
problem
you
with that
know?
is that they don't know what they're looking for, because if they knew what it was, then they'd know what the wave is. So
Right.
they don't know, but they can scan and tell, like, oh yeah, that's what we're looking for.
I guess.
It
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
so
know.
it's like,
yeah.
okay, so they can scan the planet. We know that they're scanning the whole planet because they go all over to these different places, which was why we went from New York to Tucson, right?
Yeah.
Random. So from space, I think they're scanning the planet
Yeah.
at random times. They know it's in this general area, and then they have no idea what it is, which is why when they see the hawk, it's like, maybe it is the hawk. Maybe scan it though.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
that could be it. Like, who knows? But it ends up being this dead soldier, I guess, or
Yeah.
person that's been dead forever. It's a skeleton now inside of armor. And she's like, oh, actually, the battery, is that the Evo pack?
The OVO pack.
OVO
yeah.
pack. The battery inside is made with a single cell organism, and that's the seventh spirit. Is the
Like,
single cell
Like,
organism.
okay.
Alright.
Yeah, okay.
They,
cool.
do,
Well,
they
that's-
even do that scan too, where we see the X-ray of the body, and the OVO pack is lit up a different color, so you know it's the important thing. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And it's just very like juvenile feeling
Mhm.
for it to be high science, and this Dr. Sid and Dr. Aki that are so ahead of the curve, knowing exactly what's going on and everything, and then it's just like we scan and look for the blue colored things. And
Yeah, just look for blue. We found 6 of them. I mean,
the
it-
bad stuff is red, the good stuff is blue. So
I guess so. There's so much of it that they don't do a good job of explaining, and you're supposed to just kind of like I guess just glean that from like whatever they're showing you, I guess, or like. But I guess did they find all of the so far spirits like in the U.S.?
No,
is the
'cause
whole world like this?
Yes,
right?
Yeah, she mentioned one in Moscow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. She was
And then
in
they
Moscow
find
for
one
of
in
them.
the Caspian Mountains later.
Yeah.
so-
Okay. You're right.
Yeah.
So I guess it's convenient that they found 2 of them
In the
in the
US.
U.S. You know,
That is
like
nice.
that is. I mean, because that's pretty
2 out of 8,
close,
not bad.
honestly.
And one of them in the same city that the barriered city is in too, just outside of the zone,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Like she still had to get there from space, but
Well, of course. I mean, yeah, that
And we
just makes
should-
more sense.
We should mention that this entire time we continue to see Dr. Aki having dreams that she's recording in a log of her on this barren alien planet.
yeah.
And we're getting small glimpses of like the continued story. Like at first she's just kind of there and it's a barren planet, whatever. And then we see these robot alien creatures like running toward her. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, there's 2 opposing
Or
armies.
well, that's
looking-
that. I feel like that's later. Like the first
Yeah.
thing you see is just like a bunch of them running,
Yeah.
and then I think she wakes up.
Right.
You know,
But they're
and
running
then,
like toward her maybe or something.
Yeah, like she's just kind of looking off in the distance, and they're just kind of running a direction. It seems like I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's weird, but again, not much to get from that. But obviously, like, oh, there are these weird-looking aliens. They have big old arms. Looks like, and they all look exactly the same and are the
Yeah.
same dimension and size and
They don't
everything.
wear clothes or
you
anything
know?
to differentiate themselves like
Nah,
the humans
they are
do.
all
They
exactly
are
the
all
same.
exactly the same 3D model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't she share that with anybody? Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't that look pretty?
Yeah,
Wouldn't that
yeah.
be pretty like explanatory of like what
Useful.
happened? You know,
Yeah.
like that would
Well,
that would
and she doesn't
explain
know
a
what
lot.
the dreams mean up until still at this point. She doesn't know what the dreams mean, and I think she's still trying to keep the fact that she's infected somewhat on the down low. Now, of course, she went totally public with it during the council,
Yeah.
but she's been having these. She says she's been having the same dream for months. I guess months ago she got infected, and so she's having these dreams, and she hasn't been out front
They
about.
found all these spirits in months.
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah.
That only took a few months to find 6 spirits
Yeah,
that
what
are
the-
like blue blips
I
that you
didn't know
scan in Moscow and the Caspian Mountains, and then 2
well,
of them in
Caspian
the
Mountains are
U.S.
at the end. That's the very, very last scene, the 8th one,
Oh,
where we see the crazy.
That's the crater. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
that's the
oh,
crater.
oh. I
But
guess
yeah, like Tucson, New York, the
They've-
plant, Moscow. She just mentions, but
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we don't see it, but
yeah. How did?
It's
I didn't realize it
confusing.
was only months. I didn't
Well,
know that.
She said she's been having the same dream for months.
Okay.
And because it's
She
just,
would only have those dreams when she's infected, though, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
obviously like the alien
And that was
stuff
the
that's
s-
inside her.
Was
you
it the
know?
second spirit that was in her?
it was I think it's the first one that's
Oh.
holding. So
Thought
it
was-
could be either the first or
It's
second
confu-
one.
What the
confusing.
hell
Yeah,
is
right.
going on?
I know it doesn't make any sense, but around this time, she's been having some issues. She's been like touching her chest a little bit. She's been like out of it a little bit.
Yeah, she almost seems like panic attack
Yeah.
symptoms, like shortness of breath, like she's collapsing. It seems to be getting worse too, like
The
more
infection
extreme.
seems to be getting worse.
Yeah.
And she collapses, I think.
Well, in
during
Tucson,
the-
she gets shot because all those phantoms show up.
Oh, that's right.
So a bunch of
yeah.
phantoms like surround them, and in the crossfire or something, her chest plate, which why is that there? She has a chest plate implanted.
It's to have the spirit.
I
in
think
it.
that's. I
Inside-
think that's how they get. Is that how they get the spirits in her?
Guys, your guesses are as good as mine.
Dude,
and
the spirit also
but-
comes equipped with a holographic projector because that's how she shows in the.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
but the
Check
chest
out this
plate gets
infection I got. Like,
it
yo,
Yeah,
look,
you're
look at this gloop I got in here.
it gets damaged, and that's when she like passes out, and they
That's right.
they
That's right.
scoop her up and take her into space or whatever the hell.
And then they're like, okay, well, we got to get
Oh.
this 7th spirit inside of her. That'll help. That'll fix the
Right.
the chest plate, I guess.
So now she has 2 spirits inside of her.
Well, I thought at this point they would have had just put all like she has all the 7 because
I thought somehow she had like all like.
well, here's the thing though. Each of these
6
spirits
or
is
whatever.
completing a completed wave. So
Uh-huh.
having all of the spirits in, she has a more completed wave and a better barrier. So it wouldn't. She's not. They're just putting 1 or 2 spirits in there. They're putting the most completed version of the wave in there by adding the spirit.
Is this a sound wave, a light
It's a ghost wave.
radio
It's a ghost
wave?
wave, yeah. It's obviously
Ghost
very
wave.
ghost wave.
Yeah.
So now I'm confused here though, because after they fix the chest plate, and that's the 7th wave.
Well, wait, isn't that where they lay her out and then they lay Captain Gray
Yes,
next to her?
and they share the dreams.
Right.
And then they go like, "Oh, Captain Gray, you can like be near her," you know, like they're talking about like, "Oh, we're losing her" type of thing, you know, like. But I did like that they these medical tables and like these like tables that they just have where like you could just like put people on like in all these rooms and these ships and shit. Like you just have these tables that are like hydraulically like lifted, and so they're on 2 separate tables, and then they just kind of
They're like a foot apart.
Yeah, they're like a good ways apart, and they just made a point to like kind of like push them together, you know, like they just kind of slowly like push together so that they can lay next to each other. And he grabs her hand, and then it like triggers another vision, but now he's able to see it.
Right.
He's in the
He's dream world, and and this is the part where you see those aliens again, and you see more of the same aliens, and they're running towards each other and fighting each other while they're in the middle of all of it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Like,
where
what I
that
was saying
scene
is like it almost seems like they're caught in the middle of a civil war.
That's what it looks
Yeah,
like. Yeah.
Like it's the same alien on both sides running toward each other, and these 2 characters are just stuck right there in the middle witnessing it.
During the scene too, I was thinking, because they all look exactly the same, once the 2 armies collide or fight each other, how do you tell any of them apart?
Yeah.
You know, like how do you know who's on what side?
I think they're just trying to destroy themselves. It seems
Yeah.
like I think it's a no survivors type of thing where it's like this alien thing they just cancel out. You know?
Yeah.
But they do have some dialogue, and honestly, I can't really remember how they explain like what they're seeing. Like here, they kind of talk about like, "Oh, we're on an alien planet right now." This is where they go, "Oh, this is all aliens." Like, yeah, no, I saw all the aliens last time. Like, I kind of got that this time, and then they finally just go ahead and go, "Yeah, no, this is an alien world, and we're on it, and this is like a vision that we're seeing." And it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But then you see these guys fighting each other, and then they stop. And then they all look, and then there's just this explosion rippling up from the ground.
Way far off in the horizon.
And it's coming right at them,
Yeah.
and the whole planet is exploding.
And then we see a hilarious scene. Now, the planet exploding isn't hilarious, but then we see...
Matt laughed really hard at the planet exploding.
Yeah,
He laughed
I love
really
a good
hard at
planet
it.
explosion. Nothing funnier.
He laughed
but-
really hard at it. We had to pause the movie.
We did.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had to take a break and let me get my bearings again. But
Yeah.
the even funnier scene than the admittedly hilarious planet explosion scene, it was the meteor scene where you see the meteor
Oh,
shoot
yeah.
out,
Yeah.
and there's just like, it doesn't look even very big because it looks like there's just like those regular human-sized aliens. There's
Right.
like
It looks
20
like
of
the
them.
size of your house, maybe.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
like 20 of these beings attached to the side
Wait,
of it
is
shooting
that-
through space.
Was that all the same scene that happened there? Like
Yes.
the planet explodes, and then like I guess like your point of view or like the camera, I guess, is just like out in space, and you just see
Yeah.
it explode in the distance, right?
Yes.
And then you see the
the
meteor
ball
shoot. Yeah.
of aliens floating out into space.
And we know
Yeah.
that's what impacts
Okay.
Earth.
Okay, right.
That's
yes.
how they
the
get
meteor.
here.
That's
Yeah.
the media. Okay,
But it looks
yeah.
like,
I thought that was a different scene for some reason. I don't know why.
But it looks like there's just like 20 of these human-sized aliens
Yeah.
attached to this regular-sized
yeah.
rock.
Yeah,
you know?
it's really not a lot.
It's like not very big,
No,
and
uh-uh.
it's just very funny because the spirits that are now on Earth, some of them are huge. Some of them are not even the same kind of aliens.
Oh yeah, they're giant.
Aki, I don't
You
think...
were in my dream, Gray. You saw it.
That's just it. I'm not sure what I saw. How can you be?
Captain, please, let her continue.
All right. Why do you think we've never been able to determine a relationship between the human-sized phantoms and the giant ones roaming the wastelands?
Excuse me, Doc, but what friggin' relationship? I mean, you got your human-sized phantoms and your creepy caterpillary phantoms and your flying phantoms, and let's not forget my personal favorite, the big fat giant phantoms.
Down, boy.
He's right.
If you spend as much time in the field as we have, you know there is no relationship. It's like a zoo out there.
Precisely. I think the giant ones are like our whales or elephants.
But why would an invading army bring a bunch of whales and elephants along for the ride? Unless their ship was some kind of a crazy Noah's Ark?
We have always assumed that the meteor was intended as a form of transportation. Perhaps it wasn't.
The meteor is a chunk of their planet that got thrown into space when they destroyed their world.
But how could they survive the trip across outer space on a hunk of rock?
They didn't.
Oh. This is all beginning to make a creepy kind of sense.
There's
They're
like
giant.
worms and stuff.
They look like the dune worm.
Yeah.
They're huge.
And it's like those
take
weren't
on so
on
many
that
forms.
meteor. None of those were on the meteor. Like,
Yeah, but those are spirits, and the planet's Gaia. The planet's spirit also went all the way to Earth. So if the planet's spirit can go there, I think some dune worms can make it.
So
You know what I mean?
I didn't think about that because when we see the planet explode, I would assume either the Gaia of that planet is destroyed, or I guess the whole entire planet Gaia
That's That's
was
what's
on that meteor.
So that
No, a
core
part of
that,
it. She
that
said that.
core that they're on is like what's left of it, right? And then that infects Earth and our
Yes.
Gaia,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
So, but like but the phantoms, the orange goopy things that we see from the beginning, are those the ghosts of the aliens, or are so okay? Do I had to just so you know, I had to literally grab my face because I'm trying to understand this really hard right now. But I'm just okay, because like the phantoms and ghosts, they can take on any shape and size and be whatever they want. There's like giant like spider with like giant skull shit.
Yeah, there's like scorpions.
There's like tentacles.
Yeah.
There's like anything, right? So like, if those are the ghosts of these aliens that all look the same, is that like what they want? Is that what their Gaia is?
That's not what it is, though. I'm sorry.
Is that what their
my
spirit
interpretation was that we see those aliens fighting, right?
Yeah.
But that's not like, same with Earth. That's not the only living form on the planet.
Right.
Like, it would be like watching a war on Earth with humans and then assuming the whole planet is only
And there
populated
is
by
a scene-
humans. Like,
Yeah,
we also
but-
have giant animals all over the planet.
Well,
it's the whole
sure.
planet exploded. Like, I'm
Sure.
sure they have scary ass alien monsters living on
Well,
there too.
and there's a scene where Dr.
That was
Akib
I
says,
see.
like, oh, those are like the aliens' whale, the alien planet's whale.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how they explain the big aliens, the big.
the meta, she said meta phantoms. I
Yeah,
think?
they live in like the rural wastelands and stuff,
Yes.
and they're like the alien planet's whales, which I guess hitched a ride on the meteor, even though we only see like.
Well, their
15
spirits did.
Yeah,
Come on.
But that.
but the
And these spirits can be as small or as big as they ever want, but
Well-
they only can be if they're shot, I guess.
we
Maybe. I don't know.
my problem with how this is being
Yeah,
characterized.
tell me your problem with the movie.
Is that the meteor doesn't show them as spirits or phantoms.
No, of course.
No, of course not.
They can't exist. If they floated outside, they'd be floating through space. They have to.
I know. Well, I'm just saying, all we see attached to the meteor
Yeah,
are
yeah.
those
the
aliens.
corpses of the aliens, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So here's my question, and maybe it doesn't make sense. I need
yeah,
it
I
to
don't
make
know.
some sense, though. But is the Gaia the amalgamation of all the different spirits?
Yes.
So the Gaia can come apart and be all the different ghosts?
Well, okay, so when they explain Gaia in the beginning, it's like Gaia is your planet's spirit, right?
Yes.
And when we
Yes.
die,
Mm-hmm.
all of our souls, all of our spirits, they return to Gaia.
Yeah.
So when the planet exploded, a fragment of Gaia was shot into space,
Yes.
and that contained already spirits of any living thing on that planet prior to, right?
And here's well, this is
I hate this.
this is what I'm talking about, though, because
I
the
don't
way
want to know
it's-
this I don't want to know it.
The way it's explained is once you return to Gaia, you're just part. Your individual spirit doesn't exist anymore. You're just part of the
You're just-
larger Gaia.
Right. Yes, but
Well, my
So
thought was
do
like
they
once
split
it,
back apart into alien whales and stuff?
I think
at some point?
once they
Theirs
hit,
did, I
once
guess.
they hit once they hit Earth, maybe they escaped or something.
Okay, maybe.
Don't
yeah.
ask too many questions.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I
yeah,
gotta-
no. That's one of the things that I'm so confused about is why are the Phantoms all of this like crazy things?
Yeah.
Because you don't see any of the the real versions of that, right? Like you
Yeah.
don't see
Right.
what that
Either
that
on the
used
alien
to be
planet or as
whatever.
corpses
You
on
know,
the meteor.
we also don't see any phantoms that just look like the straight, like regular aliens.
That's
you know
also
what I mean?
true. Well, no, I think
Do
there.
we?
I think
later
there
on,
are.
later
but
on, near the ending of the movie, we see some of them coming up in the ship and start to attack.
That look
the
like the
scene-
ones that are fighting?
Yeah, so there are. I can think of exactly
Okay,
where they
okay.
are, but we're not there yet.
Yeah.
I
I
can think
gotcha.
of
They
it.
are
I
the
gotcha.
I know
smallest
where they're at.
minority of the aliens we actually
Yes.
see.
We rarely see them. But they're
Yeah.
okay, granted though, there were only like 20 clinging onto that meteor.
But
So
they're okay. So that's how it works. Where are all the fucking alien whales and worms and shit? You know?
You do see some of the phantoms of like the aliens that you're seeing that all look the same. It's later on, but it's the time where they're like doing the uncoupling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get there later. But
So anyway,
Yeah,
wow, we
yeah.
just went on a huge aside.
right. Yo,
Sorry.
let's jump back into the plot.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
where were we here? So
Well, we're at the place where they just fixed her chest plate with
That's
the
right.
seventh compatible spirit that completes the wave.
And I do want to say really quick, she mentions either during the dream with Captain Gray or right after, he says something like, was that a dream? Was that a vision or whatever? A warning, a threat, something. And she's like, I think they're trying to communicate.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of when we learn that, like, maybe it's not just her seeing the past necessarily, but, like, it's very intentional from the spirit that's within her, like, trying to communicate with her.
right,
The spirits within.
her.
Ooh, within her.
I
Yeah.
see what the movie
Hmm.
means.
And
now.
so is the
I get it.
Do you? Wait, what?
so
She has
I don't.
spirits within her that allow her to communicate with aliens.
This is all beginning to make a creepy kind of sense.
General Hines' plan works perfectly. I complained about how convoluted it was, but Captain Gray did save Dr. Aki, and then the team of people that was supposed to look over General Gray did arrest them. They all get arrested right at this point, and after she saved, they all go to these hilarious holding cells where lasers keep them inside.
Oh, yeah, instead of, like...
Oh wait.
like-
There was a scene. So they have that team that's like watching after them, right? And it's like the same team from the beginning of the movie, right?
Mhm.
But there's that scene where there's a guy that has the helmet on. You don't see his face, right? But he's like, I have to arrest you or whatever. And they shoot him with something that makes his soul leave.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah,
so
like,
brutal.
they shot him with something.
And that might be the first time we see a death this way because it happens a lot later.
Oh, yeah.
And the soul, a human soul, is this blue goop that is inside of you that comes out of you in a human shape. And sometimes you can resist a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you
try
can
to
hold
fight your way
on.
back in just a little bit in that body of yours. You can almost get back in there, but it just pulls you right out.
I really enjoyed it. Every time it showed one that was
No,
like
no, no,
trying to
no,
get
no.
out and then like get pulled back in.
Let me back. No.
No. It's very funny.
But so yeah, there is that scene where like you can tell like the rest of the team like kind of understands like what they are trying to accomplish, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, this is probably actually the way to like
They were just following
Get
orders,
arre-
but
yeah.
then they all are arrested for some reason.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're all in the same holding cell or something. Or
they're in there's 3 each in 2
Yeah,
holding
yeah.
cells very
Right.
close to each other. And
Yeah, they're facing each other. They're
they're-
chit-chatting.
Their laser beams. Honestly, it seems pretty lax for
Yeah.
like being arrested. It's,
it's
like
like
pretty
you could
chill.
probably thwart that security system. We just had a couple mirrors, right? Like you
Yeah.
just, like, stick them in the laser. They're like, okay, get through quick, you know. Don't point the mirror at me, no. So what?
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
crazy trying to remember the events of this movie. So while they're in the holding cell, General Hine
Has gone crazy.
Yeah, he's gone straight wacko, and is it at this point he's taken matters into his
Yes.
So I've also physically grabbed my face now at this point because I'm trying to fucking rack my brain figuring this out. He's decided he's going to shoot the Zeus cannon.
Yes.
So the main protagonists are all safely put away in their goofy laser holding cell. And he's started the process of, he has to get to the laser though, right? Or the Zeus
It's
cannon.
in space.
Yeah. So is he, they're all in space right now.
They're on a ship, I thought. Aren't they all like on a ship together?
I didn't think that happened until they had to evacuate when the barrier gets fucked up and then the city's overtaken by and then that's when they flee, including General Hyde, and he goes up to get
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is there anything else between?
It's hard. It's honestly hard to piece it together. It's hard to remember a lot of the scenes because there are some that are pretty memorable, but there's just a lot of it that's like, damn, dude, like I don't know, like there's like 20 minutes to set up this thing that just goes to the next thing that goes to the next thing that goes to the next thing.
I will say that, like, for
God
being
damn.
an epic sci-fi adventure with a lot of shooting and laser beams and stuff, it's not a very exciting execution for the movie.
Yeah,
there's not any like exciting actual action. It's literally them trying to defend themselves with laser guns that do nothing to these phantoms, but they're always shooting at phantoms and it literally does nothing. I don't know, but are we at the point where they where they split up and they come up with the plan? I don't remember now.
So they break out of jail because the power goes down. That's how they get out. There has been a meta phantom. The really big phantom has, and that's when General Hine is like, that can't happen. That's like nothing living can get inside the pipes, and they're like,
phantoms get in.
It's not living.
Yeah,
it's a phantom, and then the whole system gets shut down. Like all the power grid is fucked up, except the elevator. Which is interesting.
I know. I love this because General Hine is safely going up the elevator while that thing explodes.
Yeah, the whole place is like collapsing and all the power grids down. Their protection barriers fucked, and like the elevator's still fine though.
Also, we see that guy sitting in the chair where the virtual desk is. He has his hands up like he's on the desk, but it's all hologram. So we all laughed at like, man, his arms must be fucking tired at the end of his shift, dude. Having to hold his own arms up like he's on a desk but have nothing to lead them on.
I also want to point out too, right? That guy particularly and how they have that like ship bridge set up, right? He's sitting in a chair. It's like a skinny little like thing holding it. And it's a huge like cockpit thing.
It looks like an arena.
Yeah,
it's
like
huge.
if he fell out of that chair, like he'd fall like really far. There's like it's just like ship metal and shit. Like there's not like walkways or anything. It's literally just like a steep like bit of steps. No handrails. No how does he get down in there
how
into
does he
the
clock
seat?
In? Where is he? How is he getting to this job?
I would imagine like he just kind of hops down into it and just like perfectly like jumps into his seat and then has a hologram desk that's like over his head. Like he like has to like have his hands
when he's
like
done
up
with
by
the
his
ship,
head.
the seat ejects him out of it back up.
It just like bumps him back.
There's no place for him to get up and walk around the chair and get back up.
Can you imagine if you like clocked out and then you just got like, ejected?
Yeah, right. There's a lot of like technology, like design aesthetic decisions that obviously make no sense whatsoever, but it's very futuristic and doesn't need to make sense. It just needs to look like the future, you know, and like it just needs to be a lot of holograms. It just needs to look like a crazy like space sci-fi
just
ship
like when
thing, you know?
Dr. Aki is performing that surgery early in the movie. There's that holographic orb sphere that has like the things, and
she's doing like a Rubik's cube.
Yeah, she's just like twisting stuff inside of that orb.
And you see the laser frantically changing angles and doing stuff. It's like, why is that the control scheme? Like, what about this is intuitive or better than some other
like regular
control?
surgery methods?
Exactly.
I don't know. That is weird.
Oh no, we came up with this really intuitive way where you just like rotate and twist this holographic orb, and it's actually like really easy to get it laser the inside of this body you're wanting to laser. So
And this laser only hits phantom ghosts in your body.
Don't
too. It's
worry
fine.
about your organs.
Yeah,
They'll
don't
be
worry
fine.
about that. You're fine.
Yeah.
So they jailbreak.
Yeah,
So they
they
jailbreak-
Because the lasers, the power goes down, the lasers are dead, they can just walk out, which is nice.
It's a funny Steve Buscemi moment too, where he's like, "What? You think if I got a magic wand, I could just do this and the lasers go off and then they go off?"
That's like maybe the only funny
the
line in the
only
whole
good one
movie
he
that
had,
was good.
yeah.
Come on, Neil. We need to find a way out. Now, you're our man. Think.
Captain, these walls are titanium alloy, and the bars are pulsonic lasers. I mean, it's not like I can just wave a magic wand and... Whoa.
Neil, I'm impressed.
That makes two of us.
But then, they break out. You don't really see them find like guns or anything, but they just have them, Like they they don't find any, but they all just they walk into a room and all the soldiers have guns and Captain Gray's like, "All right, here's the plan. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go up to the top and rotate the air tunnel thing, and you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do that."
Yeah.
And everyone splits up, and
Oh,
they
wait,
have a
but
plan, right?
The car, they're like no seatbelts, and they get all fucked up. And the one guy, Ving Rhames, Sergeant Ryan,
Yeah.
he gets fucked.
They get in
injured.
When did that happen?
They get in that Halo vehicle.
Yeah.
What's it called? The Warthog?
It literally was just Halo for like about 15 minutes.
They're
or
having
so.
to dodge all these meta phantoms that are giant and scary.
Did that happen before?
I don't know.
That's the thing. I don't remember when that happened.
It's around the same time.
Yeah.
This is vaguely in the correct order. They get in the Warthog, they go down the narrow trail, they find the phantoms, and then they perform that maneuver that gets them past that one phantom where they have to take the ramp that's on fire.
They have to.
It became Fast and Furious for about 10 seconds.
Because they're like, we have to go through the station.
Yeah, that's
and-
right. They had to make the difficult decision to drive very dangerously, like through
So they broke-
windows and make big jumps, and with this crazy vehicle, and
Which all
definitely don't have like seatbelts or anything. Like there's no like protective thing around them or anything.
It's like
there's
a
no
dune
windows.
buggy, basically.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I mean, it literally is just a Halo Warthog. It
'Cause
literally
it even has
is,
the
like-
turret on the...
Yeah,
on the-
like it has a gun. It has two guns in the back, and they don't do anything either to
Right.
the
Well,
Phantoms.
I don't know, because what happens is they crash land. Everyone's okay except for Sergeant Ryan. Sergeant Ryan has something about the thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
into
like in a
his
car.
torso.
It looked like the second gun just like impaled him.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
really like the barrel of the second gun was just like in his rib.
It
And they're
really
like, we
did.
got to get it out. It's like, no, that could damage him. He's got to stay here.
Yeah, they're like, we need to surgically remove this. Okay, we'll be right back. Like,
Yeah.
or they try to talk about taking him, and he's like, no, I'm gonna stay here. And they're like, okay, we're gonna come
Well,
back
they're like, well,
for
I'm
you.
staying with him. And yeah, me too. It's like, no, you guys have to perform the mission.
Just give me a gun.
And
So
Captain Crane just like slides the turret that was already next to him into his hand, and they
Yeah.
leave him. We think they're going somewhere far away, but it looks like it's like later.
We
on.
find out later, that they're like just
Well,
across the
So
room.
so that's where they get to the thing where they gotta rotate
Yeah,
the
that's what you were talking about,
the
yeah.
air thing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
To like
Yes.
I guess head them off. I guess I don't remember.
I thought it was something about because they're getting into a spaceship and they're
Yeah.
basically evacuating, and I thought it was like to clear for takeoff. We have to do these things before
Oh,
we can
yeah.
get out of the,
Yeah.
That's
the
what it
hangar
was.
or whatever.
And
Like,
Buscemi's character finds out that there's still something attached to the ship, so him and
Officer Jane,
Officer Jane go
Harry
out.
Right.
Gilpin.
Buscemi, I'm not going to call him by his name. He's Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
He is working on the thing, and the lady's shooting.
So,
for some reason, now
this-
the gun is very effective against these guns.
that's the scene where you actually see the phantoms of the aliens, right?
Yeah.
So that's what she's shooting at is like those are the phantoms that look kind of like the aliens, and it's like working. Like
Dude, she only has to
so-
shoot them like one or two times too, and they just disappear. Where in
Wow.
the beginning they were unloading these bullets into
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
phantoms and not.
Well,
going
she really
away.
means it this time.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess so. She just really believes in these bullets this
Yeah.
time, and then it really works because you have to believe in the phantoms to have them, like, you know what I mean? Like you have
Yeah.
to believe in ghosts for them to be
Right,
real,
it's a
kind of
spirit
thing. Right?
bullet. Like you need spirit. You need to like
I guess
really
that's
believe.
true.
and that's why I know baby Jesus exists.
That's
'cause I
exactly true.
believe.
It's true.
So she fends him off.
Where
fends
does
off the
baby
fence-
Jesus fit into this narrative?
They do talk about no, they don't talk about
No,
baby
they don't talk
Jesus
about
at all
baby
in this
Jesus. No,
movie.
no.
They don't. I was gonna try and think of an obscure
Was he
scene.
the
Like
first compatible spirit?
he might have been the first, the immaculate conception of the first spirit. But
So
Sorry,
no,
derailed.
it's okay. But yeah, praise baby Jesus. They disconnect the thing that's attached to the ship, and she's fended off all the ghosts, and they have a little congratulatory look at each other. But she looks worried, and then we see from behind, Steve Buscemi's character has a ghost behind
yeah,
him.
he's been impaled by some weird form of the Phantom that has like tentacles.
And this is one of those ones where it looks like he'd really tried to fight to have the ghost stay in his body because it
He
starts
tried
to
to
pull
crawl
out,
back
and he's
in.
like, nope. But eventually we see the blue goopy outline of his body come out of his.
His spirit leave the
Yeah,
body.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did think that it was very weird that she started shooting at all, because like they didn't have to pretty much at any point. Like she kind of shot first in that scene, because they got down there and like she's like protecting him while he's like on this thing, like trying to detach this coupler from the thing that they're trying to rotate, right? And then like nothing was happening, like everything was fine. And then she saw one, not paying attention to them, I guess not really realizing they were there, but she just starts shooting at it like really far away.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like 1 or 2 shots was like defeat. Like I don't know how that worked. Like they did nothing this whole movie, and then right here in this scene, it seemed like the guns worked. But,
Yeah.
But like she shot first, like that. I feel like maybe they didn't really notice they were there, and then they started like coming after her.
Right.
You know? Like
Right.
So it's her fault he died.
well, but there's communication too. There's comms where he's like, "What's going on down there?" And it's like, "Don't worry, it's all fine." Like she's just communicating with them aggressively or whatever. He's like trying to make a joke about
aggressive
it.
negotiations.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Like there's like a joke about like how nonchalant, like, oh, it
Yeah.
is that I'm having to shoot all these phantoms and stuff. But it's like, it wouldn't have happened maybe. Like if you just
Yeah.
didn't shoot at him. I don't know.
Maybe just let them
Would've
be.
been
They would have
fine.
moved on, you know?
Yeah.
Fine.
Wouldn't have noticed you, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so another hilarious thing, though, right after Steve Buscemi's character dies, she has the opportunity, like she's standing in front of the thing. There are a bunch of tentacles, ghost tentacles around her, but she doesn't even try to leave. Like she just stands there. She has the gun still. I think she does run out of ammo, right?
No, she just sets it down.
Okay,
she just gives up and just like, I'm just gonna put this down.
I guess I just want to die. and
There's nothing I can do.
so she
Yeah.
just stays there, doesn't try to get away or anything, and so she dies, right?
Right.
But they did the right thing. They got the coupler off. Now the rest of the people in the ship can rotate the ship and fly out of there.
And we should mention too that Sergeant Ryan, the guy that they left behind, he was just across this hangar.
Yeah.
He was like not even that far away.
Because there's
Maybe like what, half of a football field
Well,
away.
yeah. Well, so there's a part where like,
a
like
giant
when they
phantom's coming up, the
well,
meta phantom's coming up.
yeah, and Captain Gregg gets out to like shoot at it with a gun again,
Yeah.
right? And then that's where it's like, oh, I give up now too. And then here comes this something that happened that like, oh, now it's, and then big explosion, and then yeah, Sergeant Ryan shot at it with the gun that he was on. But he was only like just a little ways away.
He's
Like
Yeah.
you
over
don't know
there.
that until he shot it.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
don't
like,
know how I thought he was like rooms away.
Yeah,
like,
like,
way
far
far
away,
away.
yeah.
But then you see in the background when he's about to die that the whole crew is just right over there. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
He saw
he
the
saw
whole
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there seeing everything. Like he could
Yeah.
have been like
He could have
yelling
shot
at him.
before
Like
then, too. Yeah.
he also could like communicate. Like he's not too far
He's
away to like
within
yell and
earshot.
like
Yeah.
right. Like I don't know. There was a lot
No,
of
it's
weird
very
stuff
funny
there.
because like the Warthog is trash. Like the vehicle
Yeah.
didn't drive anywhere, and he's impaled.
He's definitely not driving it.
Yeah,
like,
he's in
Right.
the back seat, so like he couldn't have moved the vehicle. The vehicle had to have been like a stone's throw away.
yeah. There's a
God,
there's
that
just
was such
lot
a
of
funny
weird...
scene when they show that wide shot
Yeah,
and
and
you
you
see
just see
him in
them in the-
relationship to the ship. Like, oh, he's
Yeah.
just right there.
Yeah. So then they're up in space. They make it out. They evacuate.
Captain Gray does, I guess. Like that's about it. Like
Captain Gray,
literally everyone else died.
And Dr. Aki and Dr. Sid. Those are the
Yeah.
only people still around. Also General Hein, but he's in a separate
He's in a
thing,
different
not with
place.
us. So they make it up into space, and their whole mission is to find the 8th compatible spirit.
Yeah.
So they have to jump up into space to track it. They have to like scan the whole
Scan
planet.
the planet from there, yeah.
And weirdly enough, the 8th compatible spirit is where the meteor landed, which is in the Caspian Mountains.
It's a giant crater in the Caspian Mountains where the meteor hit, and they find the spirit there, so they plot a course over there.
Yeah.
We see the establishing shot, which was kind of cool. Like a lot of the graphics that were done well are like establishing shots, cool cityscape stuff.
Yeah,
and everything,
landscape.
like landscapes and everything.
Yeah.
Like I thought the Caspian Mountains and some of the crater stuff looked pretty cool.
I thought so
you know?
too.
Oh yeah,
And the alien planet too. I liked the alien planet stuff.
Huge moon on the alien planet. Man, I'd hate to see the tidal systems going on there.
Yeah,
oh, there's no water. I mean, it's all just barren sand and dirt, dude. There's no water there.
Dude, that moon was so close, the sand has tides. I'm telling you.
Well, if they had all these like crazy monsters, like dune worms that are everywhere, like yeah, they could just like go through that like water, I guess too. Like they could just swim through all this sand and dirt, I guess. But
yeah, so they make it to the crater.
And they talk about, they're kind of like, there can't be anything living down there. What are we looking for? And then they're like, we think it might, the 8th spirit might be
a particular
a phantom
down there.
Yeah, it might be a specific phantom. So in that same time when that's going on, General Hein has made it up to space to the Zeus cannon, and he's ordering the one soldier that's there. I mean, I only saw one guy.
He does get like a video call from I guess it would be council member Keith David. He gets a call from council member being like, "Hey, we've reconsidered. I think we're okay with you shooting that thing with your cannon.
Yeah,
I think we're cool with it now."
Yeah.
Right. So
he doesn't even have a name. He's just council member.
I know, and Keith David's actually like a why would he be anyway? Same with Gene Simmons, council anyway. Not that Gene Simmons.
Yeah, I was
Gene
gonna say this.
No.
You said
No,
Gene
no,
Simmons.
it is that Gene Simmons.
I'm looking at this picture of this woman. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Gene Simmons.
Yeah. She looks like the mom from Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah,
right.
she really does. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, back to it. So yeah, General Hein is gearing up this cannon. He's getting it ready to go. And Dr. Aki and Captain Gray are launching down into the meteor site. And they're in like a vehicle.
And they do this thing that they could have done 100 times before, apparently, but only just now thought to do, where they take her plate that is protecting
her
the
chest
spirit,
plate,
and they expand it outward so they could be protected from the spirits on this planet. You know?
Wow.
They could have done that, like dude, Steve Buscemi's character could have used that.
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, they're protected now conveniently for this little trip down into the crater where they're looking for the 8th and final spirit.
Yeah, and they don't know which one it is. They have to scan them, I guess.
And Dr. Sid inconveniently can't track it down while they're down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And while they're down there looking, General Hein finally gets to shoot his Zeus cannon.
And he does it multiple times.
Yeah, he shoots it one time, and they don't even really know what's going on at this point. At least the characters down in the crater don't. But it pisses off the alien Gaia creatures.
Yeah, so we realize that the alien Gaia, which again is the spirit of the alien planet, is underground at this point, I guess, in Earth, in this crater. And it comes out, and we think that we've seen monsters up to this point. No. This thing is huge. It's like the biggest. I mean, all we really see are the giant tentacles, really, but
yeah,
they're massive.
It's like they're almost like trees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they look like crazy big ass trees.
Yeah, it almost
and
looks like a
they're,
root
tentacles.
system or something.
Yeah, right.
That's moving.
Yeah.
And then also, the more that they shoot the cannon, all of these new phantoms start coming out of the tentacles, the Gaia tentacles. So it's almost like it's creating more havoc and more destruction.
Exactly. And so they do an emergency call up to General Hein, and they're like, hey, stop shooting the cannon.
Yeah.
They're only making it bigger. And General Hyde at this point has lost all reason. Even the people working for him in the ship are like, "Hey, we gotta wait. It's overheated. We can't shoot it anymore." And he's like, "We have to shoot it. Shoot it." He's like, "Well, we can't. I'm sorry." So he goes to override all that shit. In the meantime, they're down in the crater and they're still trying to find the eighth spirit. And I think it's around this time the stupidest plot thing happens.
What? Wait. This. What's that? What?
It's
There's
what
so
the
much.
eighth spirit ends up being.
Is it Gaia?
Well, so she goes, she lapses back into a fugue state, maybe.
Oh yeah,
And,
the dream. Yeah.
And
Convenient timing too with all this going on.
yeah,
you know?
exactly. At this point, so she's in the ship and she's still scanning for the thing. And General Gray is Captain Gray, sorry, is out there dealing with the Phantom shit going on, and he looks back and she's like asleep, right?
Yeah.
And he's
Pretty
like, "What
cool."
the fuck?" But
it's okay. He's got his gun that everyone has in this movie
Yeah.
that has done so well so far, you know, and
they
has done
made out.
everything.
They made out earlier,
did-
so
They did make out.
we didn't
earlier.
even
They
mention
did-
that. It was really good animation.
It looked
It was really good.
nice. It looked
It looked pretty
fun.
good.
Natural.
Looked natural. I will say there were a lot of things that mocapped really well in this, and definitely didn't in other ways. But I don't
Yeah.
know. There were a
The
lot of
makeout
things
could have been grosser than it was.
Yeah.
It was still gross, but
It
it could have been worse.
Yeah.
It's just like the whole like romance thing in general just felt very like
It
forced.
didn't
and, like,
need it.
there's no chemistry between any of the characters at
No.
all, really. Like there's nothing that ties anyone together. Like
Yeah.
there's really nothing to like lean on and like grab onto that entertains you through the whole thing. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
you-
And for
so much
sure,
of it was
not a
flat.
romance.
No,
Like,
yeah,
that is
if they just didn't have any romance at all, if they just played the
Yeah.
whole
Oh,
thing
yeah.
straight,
much better.
probably would have helped a lot of the plot. Like
I agree.
Yeah.
like I don't know, like you could make like a little bit of a joke, like, well, since we figured all that out, maybe we could get a drink at the end, you know, like you could do like that kind of thing, maybe
Yeah.
at the end and get away with it, but like
Their whole relationship was uncomfortable.
it just yeah.
Unnecessary. It added
Yeah.
nothing to the movie at all.
So the stupid plot.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yes,
go-
Plot
yeah,
stupidity.
yeah.
She's asleep in the vehicle and she's in one of her dreams and she sees a single alien ghost person and it's like puts its hand out and dissolves, and then she wakes up and she goes, "I got it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have the last wave."
But when she's in that fugue state, like the phantom like comes out of her, like she like
Yeah.
collapses and it like
Right.
comes out, and then it has like a little bit of a face and it almost looks like it's gonna talk.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I was like,
yeah.
oh man, it's gonna talk. We're gonna hear its voice or whatever. And then it like puts its weird spindly tendrils like through her, and she's like
Mhm.
kind of not affected by it. Like that was a
Well,
thing,
that's
you
what
know?
that's what
Like,
happens. Like she wakes up and she's like, "I got it.
I got it.
I'm the
Oh.
eighth wave, or I'm the eighth spirit."
I'm the eighth
Compatible spirit.
'Cause, yeah, even though they already tracked it to the crater,
Right. So it's like,
before,
why are they there?
why is she the eighth spirit or
Right.
whatever? But or maybe her spirit, that's the alien spirit, and her is the eighth spirit. It didn't need to be in the crater anyway. But
Well, Gaia, the alien guy was there, so maybe that's why.
maybe
I
that's
don't
why.
know.
I don't. Yeah, I
don't
kind of
know.
more thought of it like they got there because they thought that was the only logical place for them to go to find it, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like that.
Maybe.
I don't. I think they had like a theory it would be there, but I don't think they like knew for sure maybe that it was there, you know. But they just thought like this is the only logical thing we can think of that ties all of this together is to go to the crater where it all
Right.
happened. You know.
Yeah,
When
maybe.
was the part where she had the dream where she sees the alien planet and it's all like green?
Okay,
That's
so
this. That's this.
this.
That I'm
Okay,
talking
okay.
about. That's so like he puts his arm out and dissolves, and then the planet goes from barren to the green planet.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. It's
And
like
she wakes up and she goes, "I got it." So like there's supposed to be some sort of symbolism we're supposed to see, and it makes some sense of
Supposed to.
whatever
Ha-ha.
the alien did to give her the eighth spirit is also the planet doesn't get saved. It's a dream.
Yeah,
because
the planet exploded. Right.
Yeah.
It's
Jinx.
It's all symbolism, obviously, but all the barren stuff is like becoming green, and like all this stuff is like coming back to life and everything.
Mhm.
So it kind of seemed like, oh, they're gonna bring everyone back to life again or something. Like, oh,
Yeah,
But
we had a
is
good-
I
she
hope they don't do
seeing-
that.
Is it
like,
maybe Earth?
well, no, I don't know. See, that's the thing.
With
Like,
the things crashed into the ground, like was that the alien planet or was it Earth?
That's the alien planet with the things crashed into the ground.
Why were they crashed into the ground?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Oh no.
But
I'm
the
not
aliens
sure.
came in a meteor. They didn't have their ships there.
Oh
so
shit. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
anyway, who
Okay,
cares? Who cares?
So so that's
None of this matters.
we're gonna close the movie out. She wakes up. She has the tentacles through her. They don't affect her anymore because she's completed the way with the eighth spirit within her, and the alien Gaia is humongous at this point. It's taking over. General Hein tries to shoot the Zeus cannon one more time. It doesn't work. It blows up. He
yeah,
dies.
the whole thing explodes.
Yep. And it's so funny too because he's sitting there trying to like shoot it. He's pulling down this lever trying to shoot it, and the thing is in the middle of exploding.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
doesn't notice it. There's no vibrations. He can't hear anything. And then he turns around and looks out the window and sees this giant orb, like about ready to crash it. And he's like, "Oh, okay," and then dies. You know.
Yep. Very cool death for General
Yeah.
Hein. Not
Mhm.
really. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, there's so many things that had potential to be kind of cool and then just fell flat
Yeah.
completely because they focus so much on visual.
Right.
Like, it didn't matter that the writing was bad. It didn't
Right.
matter that the voices match the characters. It's all about the visuals. Like, they
Mhm.
have to shoehorn in this really big explosion that they animated. You know, they have to
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
off this.
Which ironically,
shit that
the
they designed,
explosions
you know?
didn't look nearly as good as most other things. You know,
Yeah.
there's many.
I
That was
thought
maybe the
some
weakest
did.
thing.
Like the ones that were far away didn't look too bad, but if there was a close-up explosion, it was rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't look great.
Yeah.
So then, okay, we know Captain Gray dies.
Dr. Aki obviously wakes up, right? And
Yeah.
then Captain Gray is out there with the gun, like thinking he's gonna like do anything against this enveloping, like giant orange goop that's surrounding them completely. There's a point where they're gonna get down into the blue, like Gaia,
The
Earth
Earth
Gaia.
Gaia,
the Earth
yeah.
Gaia,
So Earth Spirit.
the
Yeah.
Earth Spirit, which is blue and it's good.
Shout
Blue's-
out,
blue's
shout
good.
out Earth Gaia.
Shout out Earth Gaia. We love you.
Yeah.
We love
Again,
you. Can't wait to
this-
return to you.
Yeah.
Not that I want to
uh,
die or anything. I'm just saying, like, I just can't wait to be part of like the Earth Gaia.
Thanks,
the
Earth
blue
Gaia.
goop. I just can't wait
Thank
to be
you.
blue goop one day. I want to be a blue spirit goop.
It is funny that like all of us are blue and all the bad aliens are orange. It's like
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
there's Star Wars.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like, okay.
Easily color
Yeah,
coded.
simple.
World. Yeah.
So
Simple.
Captain Gray has this epiphany moment or something where he realizes he has to be like the spirit bridge that like connects the two. Like
Right.
he has to be the catalyst for her to like
She has
absorb the spirit kind of thing.
Yeah,
I guess
she has the completed wave.
She has the
in
completed
her,
wave,
but
yeah.
Captain Gray doesn't want her to die, so he
Oh.
puts her down the ledge and grabs onto her and what lets the orange
right.
Gaia pass through him,
Yeah.
and thus he transfers the completed wave from her to that Gaia or the spirit or
So
whatever.
like
you
he's
know?
a conductor.
Yeah,
Like an electrical.
Doesn't make any sense why it would work that way, but we're not.
Nothing else
splitting hairs
has.
at this
Nothing
point.
else has made
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
so.
we're not splitting hairs anymore.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
got it.
happened. That's how it worked.
But hey, all that orange stuff starts like spreading and becoming bright blue and just
Mhm.
wonderful.
It
Earth
shoots-
Gaia, we took
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Earth Gaia wins.
It's
Well,
all Earth Gaia.
Well, it's funny though because once they get rid of the alien Gaia, the sort of blue explosion happens. It shoots that beam of blue up into the outer space, and the dust settles and everything. We see a shot down there, and it's all just barren down there now. There's no spirit stuff going on.
yeah, that's okay.
And then we see her getting rescued. She's on a platform being pulled up from the thing, and
Holding
she's,
his dead body.
She's still holding Captain Gray, and this is so funny because they do a lot to sort of tease, like, oh, is he still alive? Because,
Yeah.
like, she's holding him, he's upright, and it's just a close-up shot of his face with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, we're going to see him twitch. We're going to see him open his eyes, but then she's still being brought up. It shows other things like no, but then it shows a little close up, and it's like okay, no, he's gonna be alive.
His eyes are gonna like twitch just a little bit.
Why would
he's
she
gonna
like
be like, I'm so sleepy.
I had the best dream.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Did
Why are we
make
focusing
it?
so much on his face if he's not gonna open his eyes?
And then it literally just zooms out to a scene, like a shot of the Caspian mountain range with the sunrise and
beautiful.
credits.
It's
yeah,
beautiful.
Honestly, one of my favorite shots in the movie.
And we see a bird too. We see that same bird.
True.
hawk,
We do
yeah.
see that bird from earlier.
And that's it. We made it, guys.
That
made
is
it.
the
Holy
end of the
shit.
movie. I can't believe that was the movie.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
can't believe we did
understand
that.
it.
And guys, did we mention this was an hour and 45 minutes long?
Yeah. It's
That was so much. What's our rating system going to be?
I thought about being ovo packs.
Compatible spirits?
Compatible spirits is really good. You
Up to 8. You have
Phantoms?
up to 8.
Yeah.
1 out of 8.
Phantoms?
I like ovo packs, but that's because it was my idea.
Of course.
What do you think, Jackson? You're the guest.
Oh, I think we need to do it. Man, that's a tough one.
It's whatever you're feeling. It's just vibes.
Honestly, I feel like we gotta go compatible spirits. 1 out of 8.
Well, the scale is 1 to 10, unfortunately. So
We
if
gotta
that changes your decision.
I don't think any of us are gonna get anywhere close to 10.
I was gonna say,
No,
it's
no,
okay.
no,
We can
no.
say 1 out of 8 because no one's giving that thing
I
higher than
don't
me.
think anyone's getting anywhere close to 10. But
Jackson, what scale out of a scale of 1 to 10? How many compatible spirits would you give Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within?
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go 3.
3?
I think a 3. I just think there's not a whole lot to really like take away from it. I can definitely tell why it had a big mediocre response to it.
Mm-hmm.
The hype was, thinking back on it now, was ridiculous. Again, appealing to Final Fantasy fans as a Final Fantasy fan watching it now 24 years later, like it has nothing to do with Final Fantasy. Like
That's wild.
I don't know why they called it that.
Yeah.
I guess my only guess is that Hironobu Sakaguchi,
Mm-hmm.
the father of Final Fantasy, had like cool sci-fi ideas, right? And really, really wanted to like do a cool
Movies.
sci-fi thing. And
Yeah.
he had this thing where he was like, I want to just do like a really awesome 3D animated movie because like we have technology to get there. Like there's software that can really get us there. We've done so many great like cut scenes in a lot of the games that they did. So they're like, we got to push the boundary here. But I don't think he could have done it without putting Final Fantasy on it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
Totally.
like the
Totally.
name is only coincidental
Mm-hmm.
in that I think they just used it to help sell it.
Yes.
Of
'Cause
course,
if
brand
they-
recognition, man.
If they did any like original IP name, it wouldn't have gone anywhere. Wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah.
They already had like all the funding and all the shit with all their success. Obviously, with like the branding and shit that you see, they obviously had all the funding to get licensing and do all the stuff. Or maybe they were just wanting to be a part of it. But again, nothing to do with Final Fantasy. I really tried to make like some connections and really struggled to, like the Gaia thing. So like for people that don't know, the Final Fantasy VII world is called Gaia. So I'm like, oh, okay, maybe they're trying to tie like Earth to Gaia somehow.
there is
or like there's a thing
world
there.
spirit river.
But
that-
which one came first? The movie or those games?
Final Fantasy VII came out in 97.
Oh, shit. Okay.
97. So
okay,
So like I was really trying to make like any comparison I could to it, and there aren't any. Like obviously Gaia really just seems like a buzzword that they use to explain a spirit type of thing.
Yeah.
I guess there are some like character tropes that Final Fantasy shit kind of always does.
There's a
too.
Sid character.
There's always a Sid. There's always like General Hein has like a fucking like leather jacket. He's like a general, but like he gets to wear whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Like he wears aviator jackets because he's fucking cool, Like that's stupid. He's a general. Like he's
Right.
not in uniform.
Everyone else has a uniform.
Everyone else is
except him.
formal as hell, and he doesn't
Yeah.
have to be. Like that's always kind of a trope in the games, I guess. but again, like nothing to do with Final Fantasy. Like,
Yeah.
I could see definitely why people were disappointed by it because it's not super interesting, a lot of potential, and just kind of falls flat, obviously.
Yeah. Kelsey, how many compatible spirits do you give Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within?
I was going to say the same as Jackson, a 3. I'm giving it a 3. The writing was very flat for me, despite the star-studded cast. Like, throughout the movie, I was like, I could easily tell, like, this is Alec Baldwin, this is Steve Buscemi, Donald Sutherland, James Woods. And yet, even with that, it didn't matter. Like, the characters did not connect at all. A lot of times, the voice did not even seem to match the character.
Yeah.
For me, like, it actually was very disjointing. It felt very disjointed where it was like, I'm hearing Alec Baldwin, or like, I'm hearing Steve Buscemi, and I'm seeing this twerpy 20-year-old dude. Like,
it seems like a lot of line delivery.
Yes.
You know, like it just seems like a lot of like
Yes.
I'm reading this as my voice.
I'm here for the paycheck, please.
Like
sort of.
it seems like maybe they didn't have like an animatic to work off of either.
I
like
totally
you know what I
agree.
mean? Like they are just in
Yeah.
a booth with words in front of them.
Right. I don't
reading
think
a
they
thing.
knew the story. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know that they knew the story, because a lot of the lines, even the way they were delivered, there just wasn't that emotional. I don't know. There wasn't much emotion behind them often. Even for big characters like Captain Gray and stuff, it just felt flat.
Mhm.
And the writing itself was not good. Like, I'm not even blaming the actors. I think they did the best they could, and they're talented, but like the writing was not good. Especially Steve Buscemi's lines were really bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will also say, like, for the time, I think 2001, when I think of movies from the time, Shrek is obviously a big one that comes to mind. That's all, computer animated. I also brought up to you earlier before we watched this movie, I was like, Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter movie, was like the biggest grossing movie of the year. And it has some CGI stuff in it, and it looks trash.
Hilarious.
It's
bad.
Real
so
bad.
bad.
Real
so it's
bad.
like, honestly, compared to that stuff, like, this really does hold up. Like, I was very surprised with how good it looked. Didn't save it.
No.
Yeah.
The storyline makes no sense in a lot of ways. Like, what makes a spirit compatible? Why are there only 8? Like, what the fuck? I don't know.
How'd they figure out there were only 8?
Exactly.
How'd you figure out where the limit is? Like
how do you know it's compatible? Like, how are you inserting these into her and she's okay? Like, there's none of it.
Yeah.
There's so much that doesn't make sense, and you're really grasping at straws to even like follow the plot. So, 3. Matt, what about you?
I might surprise you guys.
Oh shit.
I'm giving it a 6. No, I'm giving it a 4.5.
Wow.
Compatible spirits out of 10. The reason why mine's bumped up a little higher is I really was impressed with some of the technology that went into the graphics of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like it had not real time, but like real lighting effects.
Yeah.
They did like focus shots where like they would change the focus of whoever was talking in the shot, and there was even a few point of view hand cam shots in there, which had to be meticulously programmed and stuff.
Yeah.
There were a few times where the visuals really were like good, like holds up to today. In that way, I was impressed. I liked hearing the voice cast, even if they were like they couldn't bring the stinker to life. But it was fun to hear Steve Buscemi in this. It was fun to see this and hear Steve Buscemi, and that was just funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
So that elevated it a little bit higher for me. I'm going to give it a 4.5, but I am also going to give it 19 bonus OVO packs.
Wow.
Is that a lot?
No, it's completely arbitrary. It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
Interesting.
I do want to say, just on the record, 4 years after Donald Sutherland did this movie, he was Mr. Bennett in Pride and Prejudice.
Wow.
Oh, funny. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Pretty cool.
Good for him.
Like,
Good for him.
range there.
I was gonna say, like, that's this really propelled him to kind of go up to that, So good for him. He really came out on top after this.
I mean, I don't know. I love that movie so much, and I was just the whole time hearing his voice, I was like picturing him being the loving father of Elizabeth Bennet. Anyway,
God.
so we did
got
it.
a 3 and a 4.5 here.
Average 3.5.
There you go.
That's not great. That's not great. But we kind of matched up like roughly to what like a lot of the other people here rated it from looking at like
Yeah.
other reviews right here. But
Maybe we're a little harsh, but
we're a little harsh.
There's
It's just
things
long.
I enjoyed
It was
about
long.
it.
yeah, that's
It's
a
very
part of it.
long.
My main problem was just the flawed setup storytelling, like how everything works, why it works that way. All that stuff didn't make a fucking lick of sense.
Yeah.
And
They didn't explain the things that they needed to explain.
yeah, not
You know?
well. Yeah.
I'm curious to, not that I want to spend a lot more time on this and like really digging into what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
But I would be very interested to hear someone who really loved it, like
Mhm.
tell me about it. Like I would love to hear their take on it
Mhm.
because again, like I kind of went into it knowing that it was going to be mediocre, obviously, knowing that it was a disappointment in a lot of ways when it came out, but I don't know, like I kind of would be interested to hear how somebody really excited about the story and understands it in a way that I didn't. I'd like to hear them explain it maybe.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and
there's-
and see what they see how they spin it that way. You know what I
Yes.
interpret it in like a very positive
Well,
way.
it's like, the thing that comes to mind for me immediately is the scene where it shows the barren planet becoming green again. And I'm like, I still don't understand what that's supposed to mean. I don't understand if that's the alien world. I don't know if that's supposed to be, because it's exploded. It's gone. It doesn't
Right.
exist. I don't know if that's supposed to represent Earth. I don't know if that's supposed to represent like the soul of Gaia healing.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? There's obviously some artistic choice, symbolism going on, metaphor, whatever. I'm not getting it. And I'd love someone
Yeah.
to explain that to
If
me.
someone
you know?
got that, let us know.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
please.
Like-
Oh, yeah. Did we mention the email? Yeah, we did. Okay.
Yeah.
Email us.
Yeah.
Are you a Final Fantasy The Spirits Within mega fan?
Yeah.
Meta fan.
Meta fan? Are you an expert on Final Fantasy The Spirits Within?
I'd love to
Too
hear
long
about
of a
it.
title.
Yeah, I get it. I get what the spirits within mean.
Within
it
her.
makes sense
Yeah.
now. I really think that it was an idea that they wanted to do and were very excited about, and then they were like, this isn't going to go anywhere unless we
Yeah.
tie something
Exactly.
popular to it.
I think
It's
they
not
just
gonna go anywhere.
shoehorned it into the Final Fantasy world.
Absolutely.
It was a passion project, I think, of someone.
Yeah.
And they were just like, oh, guess what? Like, we can somehow work this into Final Fantasy. I'm sure that fans of the games who were stoked and went to the theater to see this left angry.
Oh yeah.
I would
Yeah,
assume,
yeah.
based on what I've heard from you guys, like, it seems like it has nothing to do with the games at
There's
all.
nothing.
Very little to tie it
That
to the
would,
games,
would that
yeah.
not drive you crazy if you like went to the theater and saw
Yeah,
this shit?
I mean, it drove me crazy tonight. Like, I
24 years later, we're pissed. Like,
Yeah,
I
seriously.
mean,
What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Hironobu, email us. Tell us what you
email
were
us
thinking.
at david@2001pod.com.
Don't spell out 2001. Just do the numbers.
It's the numbers,
It's just the
2001.
Well,
Don't spell that out either.
Yeah, no, it's not.
TWOZ. Don't do that either. But
well, as we leave this movie seething with anger,
Yeah.
we
So-
hope you had a great time.
I do quickly want to ask, okay? How would you rate this on the disappointment factor of the movies that you've watched so far? Would you say this is more or less disappointing than Tomb Raider?
Yeah, so both are light. It's funny that these happened back to back because they're both light video game. This isn't a video game
Yeah.
adaptation, but they are video game.
They're video
intellectual
game related
properties.
things.
Yeah.
I had more fun with Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Also, it's 15 minutes shorter.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider is a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
But-
And, there's not the. Okay, we'll. By the way, our next up, we are going to release Tomb Raider here soon, but like, Tomb Raider, the plot also doesn't make a lot of sense. There's a lot of holes. We complain about that in the episode. We're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
The premise is very shaky in
Yeah.
that, but it's maybe 2 or 3 layers of that. This is
Right.
like, oh, there's phantoms and also this alien and then a planet and then explodes
Tomb
and
Raider
then the
didn't try to
it's
be
surface
so
level. It's very like, okay, it's a
Yes.
video game thing. Angelina Jolie looks like
She's
Tomb
hot,
Raider.
like-
Yeah.
She looks like Laura Croft.
Yeah.
They
You know,
didn't try
like,
to go
it's-
heady with the sci-fi
No.
layers
well,
of shit.
You don't really have to in that way.
Exactly.
As long as she looks like Laura Croft and she
Yeah.
does Laura Croft things, and then there is kind of a rough plot kind of thing going
Right.
on that is action based, like the
Yeah.
game.
Right.
You don't really need a lot of things to make sense. Where it's like this one. Fuck, dude! Like you guys tried,
They
obviously, really
tried.
hard to have this plot and have this story, but shit, like, is there like an extended one that explains it more? It's already fucking 2 hours. My God, is this the director's cut?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, was the theatrical cut
An
an hour and 45?
Let's
I
see.
wonder. I wonder if there are other cuts of this movie. I don't want to watch them necessarily,
Yeah.
but like, I want to know if there are like deleted scenes that do explain things. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, the Google result for the movie says an hour 46. So
Yeah.
we lost
I
a
think
whole
that's
minute.
the
So-
theatrical.
So compared to the two, I'd say Tomb Raider executed their goal better. I think they did. I think
Okay.
it's the better executed. I don't know if it's the better movie.
I would
Right.
agree. I don't know. I actually think this might be a better movie in a lot of ways.
If you were to
Like,
strip their intellectual properties and the characters behind them out of it, and I was just watching movie A and movie B,
yeah,
this is the better movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tomb Raider was the better execution at doing its video game property.
right. And I think
Yeah.
it actually
Okay.
kind of understood the assignment a little better
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like, we're doing a really basic action movie, keep it under an hour 30, like
Yeah.
hot
okay.
lady shooting guns, that's what they
Sure.
want, you know.
Yeah.
This, I think, I don't know, they were really trying to make it like a big box office thing, like, oh, we're gonna get so many people, and the graphics being state of the art at the time and all this stuff, like, I think they just bit off more than they could chew, and it ended up being kind of a slog to get through, where you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They needed to think about the mechanics of the world and how the spirits and all that.
and also
works.
like what's important to have
more.
in the movie and what's not. Like we talked about that one scene where General Hine is in the spaceship and it shows the entire thing of him like floating through a hallway,
Yeah.
and it's like you couldn't have
Did-
cut that.
You could.
Tighten
You
it up a little bit, you
Yeah,
know? Like,
I
No
mean,
one's talking. Like, why
you-
is that in this?
Yeah, this could have been an 80-minute movie.
Yeah,
You know, like this
100%.
very, very well you could tighten up the whole story.
For how little it made
tighten
sense.
it up. Yeah, and wrap it up in a nice big bow at the end and make Captain Gray come back. Justice for Captain Gray.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like every other person that died from having their soul taken away just turned into a fucking gray ass corpse.
Right.
Right? And then Captain Gray was the only one that still had all his blood still in him.
Yeah,
and
he
his
looked
flesh
normal.
was still great. Like
And they
his
kept-
eyes were about to pop right open.
I was
there,
gonna say
you
they
know?
kept showing
Yeah.
that close up of his face. Like, is he gonna twitch and
Is he
and
gonna
open
do
his
it? Is he
eyes?
gonna do it?
Nope.
And they didn't.
He doesn't need his soul after all. He was his soul the whole time. He had his Gaia the whole time, and it was okay.
We all
And
are
then they get-
Gaia.
And then
Yeah.
they get married and have a weird little alien baby together.
Guys, we're Gaia. We're all Gaia.
We're all
Gaia.
Gaia.
So what is the most disappointing movie up to this point for you guys?
Ghost of Mars.
Yeah, I
Ghost of
agree.
Mars.
Ghost of Mars was rough. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I think so. Is that the one with? Is that the Ice Cube
Yes.
one? Yeah,
Bye,
I
bye,
do.
bye, bye, bye.
Yeah,
do remember
the made-up
that.
language.
I do remember that.
Disappointing.
And it
It's
was
John Carpenter directing it, so
That's
it's like
the thing. Like,
shit.
you
yeah,
kind
I
of
didn't remember
expect
that.
more, and it was bad.
yeah.
Damn.
It was really bad. I think I gave it like
Okay.
2.5 or something.
Okay.
2.
I can't
All
remember
right.
what I gave it, but it was.
It's
low,
So this
yeah.
so this was just a really mediocre one, really.
This was
you know,
fine.
this was just like
Also, Rockstar. I didn't expect a lot, but Rockstar was rough.
that one.
Rockstar was
Rough.
bad, but at least it like had some funny
It was-
moments
that-
and stuff.
yeah.
Like,
that had some like I'm sure for you guys too, like had some like very like funny because it's so bad.
Yes.
You know, like it's
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
over the top and shitty that you can't help but laugh at it. Where it's like
Yeah.
not a damn thing made me feel anything about this. Like
Some-
I had
Yeah.
no feeling.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just had, I guess, confusion. Is that a feeling? Like
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
confused most of the way through it, and I can piece together a story and kind of see what they were going for. But like I didn't feel shit, you know.
No,
Like, and I don't
same.
feel anything now coming after it. Really.
Yeah.
And this is our official 2001 pod endorsement. If you don't want to feel anything, Watch
Yeah.
Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
You got 2 hours you need to kill and
Do
just
you
not
wanna-
feel.
Do you want to feel confused? Watch this movie.
Yeah. You've been anxious here lately. You want to feel nothing instead. Get you a hot little hour 45 with Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Just check out.
Yeah. Trying to
Don't-
fall asleep tonight.
Yeah. Just don't try and pay attention to it. Just like
Yeah.
let it wash over you, and
Yeah.
don't think too much about what it means or how it all works.
I actually think it would be a decent movie to fall asleep to.
Probably would be. Honestly, like there's not a lot of loud. There's not a lot of like action. There's not really a lot of like. There's a lot of just flat. It's just flat.
Yeah.
If you're not watching it, like it sucks. Like that's
Yeah.
like if you were trying to like do other things like work while this is on, like you're there's nothing to it. Like you don't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
It's basically like an audio book that is not interesting at all.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's leaving out a lot.
Yeah.
It's like skipping around and like
Well, we hope you didn't find this podcast episode to be flat. Jackson, I really appreciate you coming over here.
Yeah, I do too.
thank you.
Being a guest, I appreciate you being
We
over
both
here.
appreciate you being
Okay.
here.
I know I
Yeah.
do. I can't speak for her, but
Right, yeah, okay, well,
Wow.
no, we
good.
both appreciate you coming over here, Jackson. You are my brother. I know that you don't like to let that out too often, so I appreciate that you being open about that.
Wait,
oh.
cuss words. I counted 7.
Yeah,
I just wanted to throw
okay.
that in.
Yeah, so yeah, we didn't actually touch on that where
Callback.
here at the beginning, you know, obviously like I remembered there being like quite a bit at the beginning there, and there are a couple.
Yeah.
But I really think that it was just a bad timing thing where if mom had not walked up right as soon as they were saying, "Oh shit." Like it probably would have been totally fine. I
Yeah.
would have gotten away with watching this. There is nothing offensive or anything about this movie. Really, they said shit a couple of times and really not bad. It could have been PG.
Yeah.
Like their
Yeah.
PG-13 really didn't make sense either.
Yeah.
Although the characters making out was overtly sexual.
Your favorite part.
I mean,
That
it was.
Matt had to pause the movie at that point too.
And leave the
Yeah.
room,
He had
actually.
to leave. He was in the bathroom for a long
I was
time.
For like 15
hyperventilating
minutes, yeah.
and.
It was strange. It was
Yeah.
very strange.
Anyway,
weird.
let's change the subject. I
He came out
again
and drank like a lot of water. Like I've
Yeah.
not seen him drink that much water in quite a while.
Like
but
ever.
He's in the bathroom for like 20. Like we've been here for like
Yeah.
hours, kind of just like waiting on him to like.
Yeah.
We paused the movie.
thank you
like
so
4 or
much
5
for
times.
joining us. This has been 2001 of Film Policy, and I didn't do any of that. They made all that. And Jackson is a tax cheat and a bad guy. And thank you for joining us, Kelsey. It's always a pleasure to co-host the podcast with you.
Yeah, of course.
And stick around for the next episode because I'm sure there will be one.
We'll see.
We'll see. There's no more movies.
Thanks, Jackson.
Hey, no problem. Thanks.
He's a tax cheat.
Bye.